subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
To change people's hearts. Naruto made so many embarrassing inner confessions, but Sasuke just snorted, which made Naruto dissatisfied and imitated him with a snort and swish his butt. However, there is someone even meaner than Naruto. That was Kankuro, who didn't understand the situation in Konoha. Hey, what that blonde boy means, isn't it that your clan is just like children and likes to use pranks to deprive others of their attention? Naruto. Sasuke was suddenly led into a rhythm. You idiot! Why are you scolding me? UBD Sasuke. The two people were noisy and went back to the way they were when they first watched the movie. Iruka smiled happily. It is best if there is no gap between children. Uzumaki Naruto, what a powerful being. The video plays to four old people discussing the issues of the Uchiha clan. Shimura Dans. The isolation policy against the Uchiha clan has been Konoha's basic policy since the second generation. Now, you're saying that it is Konoha's insufficient trust in Uchiha that has led to today's problems. Mean. Second Hokage, while watching the movie. Chapter 63. Public Execution. Tuan Fan Ku Shisui quietly glanced at the young-looking second generation, saw that he had no expression, and continued to watch the video. In the video, the top management of Konoha is still discussing the management strategy of the Uchiha clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen, second-generation Sama's intention is not to isolate, but to consider the balance of all races. Have you forgotten our friend from the same period? Uchiha Kagami. Shimura Dans. How could I forget that his pupil technique has helped me many times? Sarutobi Hiruzen. Uchiha will always be a part of Konoha and must stay. The image shows a close-up of Shimura Dans, his eyes narrowed insidiously, if you can keep it. Because Sasuke and Neji had received education from a large family, they immediately understood the hidden meaning of Shimura Dans's words when they heard them. Especially Sasuke, who suddenly felt a layer of cold sweat on his back. On the other side, Senju Tobarama, Shimura Dans's teacher, frowned. Just looking at Shimura Dans's attitude, he knew that Zong was going to take action against Uchiha. However, what puzzles Senju Tobarama is that if Danzo said that mirrors saved him several times with Sharingan, why can't he still identify with the Uchiha clan? Shisui caressed the eye sockets that were once hollowed out by Danzo. He had a vague guess that the phrase mirror's pupil technique has helped me several times in Elder Danzo's words was the same as the illusion Izanagi used against him that time. It exists in Danzo's own eyes, his grandfather's eyes, which have helped him several times. In the video, several Kirigakure ninjas are performing missions. Suddenly, several ninjas fell down. Obviously, they were hit by the illusion Li Zao technique. Byakugan. Mist Shinobi Ninja AO used the stolen Byakugan to see that the enemy was a Konoha shinobi with the name of Shisui. White eyes. Neji and Hinata suddenly exclaimed, as well as the heads and clan members of the Hyuga clan in Konoha village. They all looked at the ninja named AO in the video with evil eyes. Other ninja village. Even after trying all kinds of methods, Konoha still can't completely protect Hyuga and Uchiha's bloodline eye technique. The guys from the Kingdom of Water are despicable too. After all, in the blood mist. Next, Miss Shinobi's AO actually retreated without a fight. The Land of Water Kirigakure Terumi May glanced at King beside her. Other Mist Shinobi. King tried hard to find a scene for himself. Of course, you young people have never heard of the name Shisui. If I lead the team to rush over, the whole army will definitely be annihilated. Do you know that? That is the elite of the Uchiha clan. It can scare Mr. King into retreating. What do you mean by scared? I was weighing the pros and cons and making a strategic retreat. Oh, okay. Could it be that Uchiha Shisui, who made Mr. AO choose a strategic retreat after weighing the pros and cons, also died at the hands of that S-class traitorous ninja, Uchiha Itachi? How strong was that Itachi? King, Regarding this, there are rumors that Uchiha Shisui died of suicide. Of course, more people are willing to believe that it was Uchiha Itachi who took advantage of him. In the image, the elite of the Ubrachi elite who returned to Konoha is kneeling on one knee in front of the third Hokage. He, Shun King, is discussing with the Hokage alone for a while. On the roof of the Hokage building, no one is around. Uchiha Shisui, I am deeply saddened by the distrustful relationship between my clan and the village. I hope to rebuild the mutual trusting relationship between my clan and the village. Seeing that the Uchiha boy next to him was so enlightened, Senju Tobarama couldn't help but cast admiring glances. He is indeed the grandson of Kagami. The same goes for third Hokage. That's right, Shisui, you obviously said this to me at that time. But why did you choose to commit suicide and pass away? Shisui pondered for a moment. Please just go on and watch. I didn't expect that the video actually played so much content, but this is better. Knowing that both sides are responsible for the rift between Uchiha and Konoha, it is better than him and Danzo directly mentioning the use of distinguished heavenly gods to control the Uchiha clan leader in the conversation and make him give up the rebellion. The road is much better after resurrecting his life. Facing such a result, Uchiha Shisui believed that there was nothing more important than letting Itachi regain his identity and freedom. Even if it means exchanging the name of the Uchiha clan, it doesn't matter. Next, the third Hokage privately authorized Uchiha Shisui to use the power he could call as Hokage to promote the re-establishment of the relationship between Konoha and Uchiha. If something happens to you, please tell me my name, and all the blame will fall on me. Just go ahead and do it. This is the third Hokage's trust in his good friend, his grandson, and his urgency to reverse the relationship between the village and Uchiha. Naruto, as expected of a Hokage. Such courage. Grandpa third generation is worthy of being a Hokage. Third generation lord. Sasuke was very grateful when he saw this, but he was secretly worried about the outcome. After all, Itachi finally wiped out the entire clan. The image is of the Uchiha mansion, which was Sasuke's former home. Uchiha Shisui at the door flashed and disappeared. Brother, after you finish the task, practice shuriken with me. Sorry, Sasuke. Someone came to see me suddenly. Next is the key point. Uchiha Shisui clenched his fists and watched the video with the others. In the place where Uchiha Shisui and Itachi often trained together when they were young, the two greeted each other, and Shisui went straight to the point. I want to hear the truth, Itachi. How serious is Mr. Fugaku? Sasuke, father. Itachi. What's the matter? Shisui. A coup against Konoha. Chapter 64. Sasuke roared and slandered Naruto as soon as these words came out. Everyone nearby looked at Sasuke. Liar. Uchiha Sasuke took a few steps back in disbelief. If Naruto hadn't pulled him behind him, Sasuke might have fallen to the ground. That liar. They are all lies. Sasuke didn't know who to argue with, so he could only roar loudly at Naruto next to him, hoping to get the affirmative answer he wanted. Uchiha is an honorary clan. Uchiha for exist to defend Konoha. Father, he can't launch any coup. At this point, Sasuke's voice was slightly weak. Naruto, he doesn't understand this kind of thing, and he can't respond to Sasuke's expectations casually. He can only be his companion and always stand by his side. Shisui and Itachi, two young boys, began to talk about the philosophical issues of Uchiha and the village. Itachi, Uchiha's dissatisfaction with the village is growing day by day. If the village continues like this, I'm afraid Uchiha will exceed the limit of tolerance. Can Uchiha change? Only if the village changes. Shisui's voice was a little helpless. Itachi, but if Uchiha doesn't make changes, the village will not change. The relationship between the two parties will continue to be distrustful, and the situation will only become more serious as time goes by. One that's right, this is a paradox. Uchiha Makoto stood in the dark, watching the image in front of Konoha Shinobi School. She knew that there were several eyes from Umbu staring at her. Not surprisingly, it should be the person arranged by the second Hokage and the third Hokage. Although he may have the intention to monitor her, his intention to protect her is always greater. After all, the capable Genin in the village could also detect her presence. He glanced at her a few times intentionally or unintentionally, but after spotting Umbu behind him, he pretended not to see her and withdrew his gaze. If the village does not change, Uchiha will not change. If Uchiha does not change, the village will not change. This is also a problem that has troubled Fugaku for a long time. If he did not make an unsolvable judgment about the future, how could her husband lead the Uchiha clan to rebel? Just Itachi caught between multiple forces. This kid is actually suffering more than anyone else. Itachi is too gentle. As Itachi's mother, Uchiha Makoto often thinks, it would be nice if this child, Abe, was more selfish. I want to try to change this relationship and prevent the Uchiha coup. Shisui stood on the edge of the cliff, looking at the flowing waterfall as if he would get some peace of mind. Once the coup is launched, both the village and Uchiha will only can bring unfortunate results. Itachi stood next to Shisui, looked at his frowning figure, and expressed his opinion. Like you, I oppose the coup, but if you want to stop the coup, you can only use unconventional means. Sasuke was so shocked that his whole body trembled. Unconventional means. Brother, the unconventional means you mentioned. Could it be that you personally killed your father, mother, and the Uchiha clan? I can't agree with it. He definitely can't agree with it. It's better if you don't act rashly. Shisui told Itachi, the security forces don't trust you either. They ordered me to monitor you. Itachi's eyes widened in disbelief. It turned out that his family no longer trusted him. The third Hokage sighed after seeing this. Itachi, that child, is suffering. Shisui lowered his head. Yes. Itachi. That's right, it's too difficult. In the next video, everyone witnessed one thing. That is, Uchiha Fugaku, the leader of the Uchiha clan, was forcing his eldest son Itachi. Forcing him to make a choice between the village and his family. Forcing him to prioritize serving his family over the village. In the video, Sasuke saw his father severely scolding his brother many times. After seeing his parents leave, his brother's eyes were full of exhaustion and disappointment. Still young, he couldn't help but have questions in his mind. What is a family? What is a ninja village? Why do the two have to have one priority? At this time, Uzumaki Naruto next to him spoke. He folded his arms across his chest, feeling bulging with energy. Let me tell you, why does Gaara's dad do the same? And Sasuke, your dad, does the same? Why do they force their children to do things they don't want to do? Sasuke didn't like hearing this, even though he and Naruto had basically the same idea. He was also angry that his father was pushing against his brother like this, and he was angry that he didn't notice these things when he was a child. While he was innocently being a ninja school student, Itachi and the Uchiha clan were burdened with more. Their father, Uchiha Fugaku, also grew distant from Weasel in the process. Why didn't you tell him? Was it because you thought he was young and useless? The brother he had hated for so many years. Even when Kakashi asked him about their dreams, Sasuke threatened that his ambition was to kill that man and then revive the Uchiha clan. The image of the dream is like a public execution, peeling off the flesh and blood layer by layer, revealing only the white bones. Brother, father, Uchiha village. Before hearing Naruto's angry accusation, Sasuke had some complaints against his father in his heart. But if the village could trust Uchiha more, everyone in the clan is obviously such a gentle person, but the image shows two images of Uchiha, one inside the clan and one outside the clan. The harmonious Uchiha, the gentle and kind Uchiha, the honorable Uchiha. Uchiha, who cannot tolerate any criticism, and Uchiha, who enforces the law arrogantly, attempts to launch a coup. Sasuke gasped, his pupils narrowing a bit as he opened his eyes. The occasional glances and whispers from around him had long made Sasuke extremely annoyed. At this time, Naruto said, "Let me tell you, why does Gaara's father do the same? And Sasuke, your father, does the same. Why do they force their children to do things they don't want to do? What do you know if you have been alone since you were a child?" Chapter 65, Mingshio Shisui secretly exposes Danzo As soon as he said the angry words, Sasuke immediately regretted it. After he woke up and realized what he had said, Sasuke squeaked and tried to take it back. But it is always difficult to recover from overflowing water. Sasuke-kun. Little Sakura looked at Sasuke worriedly. He felt that Sasuke said too much, but she had no position to accuse him. UBD. Naruto rushed over and punched Sasuke in the face. Sasuke, who said the wrong thing, felt guilty and did not avoid it intentionally. But the pain never arrived. It turned out that Naruto had withdrawn his fist, turned his back to him, and sat on the grass. If Naruto turned his back to Sasuke, if my father asks me to do something I don't want to do, then I will give him a hard punch. If he also has a father. The two started a cold war. Temari asked little Sakura, "Is it okay?" The two of them. They were arguing like little children. They're like this all the time. No, it doesn't matter. They reconciled after a while. Sakura, what kind of trouble would it be if there were 10 of them? They always quarreled. It's so annoying. In the next video, the Uchiha clan's private gatherings become more frequent, and everything is under the control of Konoha's top brass. Danzo proposed to third Hokage to strike first, but third generation still hopes to use a gentler way to ease the stalemate between the Uchiha clan and Konoha. He asked Uchiha Shisui outside the door to come in and told Danzo about his and Shisui's plan. Third Hokage. Shisui will attend the next Uchiha gathering. And if Uchiha Fugaku really wants to plan a coup, Shisui, I will use the distinguished heavenly gods, which is the eye power of my Manjiki Sharingan, to manipulate the target without being noticed and fundamentally change the target's thoughts and pressure. As long as Uchiha Fugaku's thoughts are modified using distinguished heavenly gods, then it can be promoted to change Uchiha, thus changing Konoha and changing the conflict between Konoha and Uchiha. 1 Senju, Tobirama. As expected of Kagami's grandson, does he already have Manjiki-level strength at this age? He patted Shisui on the shoulder. Thank you for your hard work. We are outnumbered and outnumbered. Under such circumstances, it is not easy to change the conflict between the clan and the village. Other ninja village, when they heard that Sharingan was more than just 3 Magatama, they immediately collected this as important information. Sharingan is actually called Manjiki Sharingan. It's incredible. If I guess correctly, it seems that every Uchiha who awakens Manjiki Sharingan does not necessarily have the same Aijutsu abilities. Oh my god, isn't that just like a lottery? I can't believe it. The ninja world actually has this kind of power. There is also Uchiha Shisui's ability, Distinguished Heavenly Gods, which fundamentally modifies people's will. This kind of power king is very similar. Masked Man, the land of water, Kirigakure, mist, shinobi ninja. Could it be? Could it be this kind of power that controls Mizuki-sama, Terumi-mei, Distinguished Heavenly Gods is indeed a terrifying ability. Aoya was a little unsure. Could it be that the information was wrong and Uchiha Shisui is actually not dead? Then what is his purpose? Someone immediately asked, does Uchiha Shisui want to unify the ninja world? Using illusions to unify the ninja world is something only Uchiha can think of. Akiri Ninja, who had dealt with Uchiha, commented dissatisfiedly. Terumi-mei, we are still unable to get in touch with Mizuki-sama. She made a major decision. After watching this video, I will be the agent to attend the Five Shadows Conference in Konoha on behalf of Mizuki-sama. In fact, many days ago, Kirigakure's elders had already asked her to wake up. Master Terumi-mei, then it's all up to you. In my impression, third generation and Danzo are still arguing over their different ideas regarding Uchiha. Danzo, changing one Uchiha Fugaku will not quell the dissatisfaction of the entire Uchiha clan. Third generation thinks, no, as long as Uchiha is willing to change, then we should also change, and then we should improve the treatment of the Hakaha clan. Fire Country Konoha, Distinguished Heavenly Gods? What a powerful and special eye power. Second Hokage, Senju Tobirama praised Uchiha Shisui, who didn't know that he had shouldered a big blame for others. What third-generation Sama said was my wish at the time, but it's a pity. Senju Tobarama and Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. Seeing Uchiha Shisui pointing the Sharingan at Danzo in the image, they probably continued to watch the movie with some understanding in mind. Drill ground number 44, near the Central Tower. Sasuke and Naruto were in a Cold War. They were far apart. Sasuke occasionally glanced at Naruto, but the celebrity didn't want to talk to him at all. Sasuke was a little panicked. I knew I said something wrong, but I couldn't help but apologize. Sakura tried to smooth things over awkwardly. Let's watch the video together first. After watching the video, we will go back to rest and wait for the teacher's notification to prepare for the first exam. Irika made gestures of eating ramen. Yes, let's have some ramen together later. Teacher, I'll take care of you. Naruto yelled, humph, in Sasuke's direction. In the video, at dusk and sunset, Danzo calls Uchiha Shisui alone in front of an ancestral hall. Danzo gets straight to the point. What would you do if you used the pupil technique on Fugaku and convinced Uchiha? But the village did not change. Shisui fully trusts Konoha and Hokage. Hokage-sama promised me that there will be changes, and I have no doubt about it. Danzo believes that he is not as naive as Sarutobi Hiruzen. Deep down, he understands people's hearts better. Even if the third-generation lobby, the villagers' suspicion and fear of you will not disappear easily. Naruto sat on the ground and fumed angrily. How will you know if you don't do it? Stinky old man. If it were him, he would definitely work hard if he thought of a way, do his best, and do what he says. Shisui also understands what Danzo said, but one party must make changes first, and then it is only a matter of time. But before Shisui could finish speaking, Danzo once again fought for the pace of the negotiation. That's just one of the problems. A suspicious and sick person like me will never change his mind easily. At that time, what will you do? Shimura Dans gloomily pressed Shisui again and again to give an answer. Konoha Gakure's civilian, what a stubborn old man. Hey, be careful what you say. No matter what, you won't take action against civilians, right? After all, he is the elder of Konoha's advisory board. The person next to him shook his head and stopped continuing the topic. Other hidden villages on Noki, who knew Shimura Dan's personality, shook his head. That instant Shisui is probably in danger. Elder Sunagakure. I don't think Danzo is at fault. After all, if there is something that will harm the interests of the village. The ninja next to him secretly glanced at Elder Sand Shinobi. Many times, the same problem is placed in the hands of the authorities in the village. But when watching a movie like this, if you think about the problem from the perspective of a third party, you will find that the opinions of the stubborn elders and advisors are really fatal. Even though they are also doing it for the development of the village, this kind of behavior is really too chilling. Shisui, but Danzo, who has far more experience in torture and oppression than Shisui, does not give him a chance to think. By then, you will also use distinguished heavenly gods on me, right? Shisui, that guy Danzo. This is totally unreasonable. Next time I see him, I will definitely. The daimyo of the fire country banged his small fan and complained in an angry voice. Attendant, you also said before that you hope that the scary-looking Danzo will not come with you the next time you meet the Konoha Hokage. Senju Tobarama. Don't ask, you just want to beat the students. However, Danzo's more unexpected actions are yet to come. Standing next to the two Hokages, Shisui clenched his fists after being resurrected. Danzo in the video suddenly dropped his crutches and attacked Uchiha Shisui. I will accept your Sharingan. Gaga. Shisui. Chapter 66 Obito is anxious and Tobarama is furious. Danzo's hands are shaped like knives, and his fingertips were stabbing Shisui's eyeballs. Shisui's wide-open blood eyes reflect Danzo's ferocious and greedy face. Suck. All viewers instinctively put themselves in Shisui's perspective and gasped. Fortunately for the ninja, the civilians simply closed their eyes, unable to bear to see what happened next. Pirazol-1. With a piercing sound, Uchiha Shisui's Sharingan suddenly exploded with a scarlet light. I'm sorry. Shisui sighed softly. Another violent heart palpitation. Danzo's pupils tightened. His arm was actually pinched by Shisui, and he quickly lost consciousness. The elders of the major ninja villages, you actually managed to kill that Danzo in a split second. That instant Shisui, could it be that he used the power of Manjiki Sharingan just now? It's shocking. To put it bluntly, fortunately there is no Uchiha anymore. Otherwise, if there were more 630 guys like Shisui, the ninja world wouldn't be in chaos. Don't forget, the Masked Man is also Uchiha, and he also has a Sharingan. Do you still remember the ability of the Masked Man? He suddenly appeared during the meeting of the Five Shadows, and then suddenly disappeared. With the power of the Five Shadows and the Mifune Admiral of the Iron Country, no one could stop him. Not only did he stop him, he dared to speak nonsense in front of the Five Shadows, but he was able to escape completely. The Five Shadows and their followers were unable to hurt him at all. Looking at the entire ninja world, is there anyone with such power? Have the Elder of Awagakure, the Kingdom of Earth, turned around and looked at the adult who said yes. Sachikage-sama. Well, Anoki frowned. There is one person who can do it. Is it really that person? If that person is still alive, what will the future of the ninja world be like? Sachikage-sama. Who are you talking about? The first rebellious ninja in Konoha, the former leader of the Uchiha clan, known as Shura in the ninja world. Uchiha Madara. The Masked Man Madara, that has been talked about by everyone, is currently using the ability of Kamui Space to secretly spy on Konoha. Everything is getting out of hand. Uchiha Obito's heart is furious. The second Hokage is still alive. This huge and elusive image is also good. It might as well be revealed in advance that he is the leader behind the Akatsuki organization. It would be good to reveal that the Yu clan once had the idea of a coup. It would be nice to release this video of Danzo's dirty tricks in advance. Everything is getting out of control. Uchiha Obito has never been more irritable at this time. He doesn't know what force is controlling all this. But in all the knowledge he and Madara had, there was no such power. Second Hokage, Senju Tobarama's words intentionally or unintentionally made him anxious. It was obvious that second Hokage should have been dead when he was born. He didn't know how many years had passed. Why does he act like he knows Uchiha Obito? Forget about that kid. He has been deceived by Madara and that thing for so many years. The words of second Hokage are still in his ears, and Obito uses his angry and anxious head to speak word by word about the purpose of second generation. Think about it. Yexi, that thing is bloodshot Sharingan, is full of gloom. Black Zetsu. The confused Uchiha Obito roared in the Kamui space. Hatake Kakashi was standing in a dark corner near Konoha Shinobi School, watching the video in a depressed mood. In his left eye socket, the eye that belonged to his hero was in severe pain for some reason. In the video, Shisui, as a ninja of Konoha, did not hit Elder Danzo hard. It's just an ordinary illusion. You'll wake up soon. Shisui turned and left. He had to make an appointment with Itachi. However, Shisui did not expect that Shimura Danz had already cracked his illusion just 2 steps away. Shisui groaned after being hit hard on the chest and abdomen, followed by Shimura Danz, an elder of Konoha, who beat him one after another. The right face, chin, body. When Uchiha Shisui relaxed his guard, Shimura Danz took him by surprise and attacked him unprepared. Such a suffocating operation. Even people from Konoha feel that it is indeed a bit excessive. However, don't forget what Danzo said before. Your Sharingan? I just accepted it. I saw Danzo grabbing Shisui's hair and throwing him up. Puffed. I full of scarlet. Shisui endured the severe pain, jumped back and ran away from Danzo, and knelt on the ground, covering her missing right eye socket and breathing heavily. Tech. Although he already knew what happened, seeing the other person's eyeballs being removed alive from the video, Uchiha Itachi felt as if the pain was also attached to himself. The anger towards Danzo almost reached its peak. In the video, Shisui sees with the other eye. Danzo holds the Sharingan and moves it to the right eye that has been bandaged. The bandage was removed, and Uchiha Shisui saw a scene that shocked him. That is, but Shimura Danz is not from the Uchiha clan. Don't forget the existence of Konoha's copy ninja, Hatake Kakashi. Yes, that Kakashi is not Uchiha, but his left eye is indeed. Kakashi covered Obito's eyes and stared at Shimura Dan's in the image with a gloomy expression. Yes, the right eye that has been hidden in the image is Sharingan. It's just that the Sharingan quickly turned into a useless eye with a white pupil after seeing the light. I won't waste your Sharingan. It will become the replacement of this eyeball Zero. As expected, Danzo was greedy. Then, give me the other eye as well. In front of the seriously injured Shisui, a dozen Konoha Umbu suddenly appeared, all attacking Uchiha Shisui. That guy Danzo. Senju Tobirama was furious in an instant, and the pressure of chakra made the air nearby become as heavy as condensation. Konoha as the dream of the eldest brother Hashirama, guarding, nurturing, entrusting should have been its fundamental tone, and Danzo actually attacked the juniors of Ninja Village for the sake of strength and rights. He was really speechless. What follows is an awkward evasion and pursuit battle. Shisui, who lost one eye, was chased by the ninjas of Gen. Shuriken, kunai, smoke bombs, poison gas, those root ninjas used all means to deal with Uchiha Shisui of Donin Village. Seeing the moves and methods of the dozen Umbu, Senju Tobirama suppressed his anger, but Itama, who knew his second brother, and the three students present at Tobirama all knew that he was even more angry, almost reaching the peak. Monkey, tell me who trained these Umbu. The old third Hokage lowered his head. The two elders who objected to the once young third Hokage saying, I cannot agree with this training method. No one dared to say a word at this time, as if they were not the ones who supported Danzo's strategies. This is really disappointing for Tobirama. Only the small family before Sengoku would train ninjas in this way. Tobirama said, they will not use their own children to train 3.4 in this way. They're looking for orphans who have been displaced by the war. Rather than training ninjas, it's better to say that the final ones trained are Deadpools. No emotions, no tears, no ego. There's only obedience, duty, and death. In the image, after losing a Sharingan and inhaling poisonous gas, Uchiha Shisui, who was in a miserable state, began to lose consciousness. He fell into memories Shisui during the movie. This was something he didn't expect. He himself didn't remember what was going on in his mind at that time, but the guy behind the video actually knew it and recorded it. Itachi was implicated and exposed. I was so implicated that I didn't know that I was the kind of brat in Shisui-san's memories. Sasuke, Chapter 67. Shisui's memories of Obito. There are many scenes in the video. Please order with caution. The image is Shisui's memory. Summer of the Blue Sky. In the Konoha training ground, Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui formed a seal of opposition. In a wonderful competition, two talented young men with Sharingan refused to give in to each other. Ninjutsu, Uchiha Shuriken Jutsu, and Taijutsu took turns to appear. No ninja from each village in front of the video will miss this rare competition. Not only can they estimate the strength of the young generation of Konoha Shinobi Village, but they can also gain experience and important information from it. As expected of Konoha's Shunshin Shisui, that body flicker technique combined with the shuriken technique is really hard to resist. Because of this, Uchiha Itachi, Konoha's super rebellious ninja, is even more difficult to deal with. Think about it. That rebel ninja organization called Akatsuki is full of guys like that. How can they possibly defeat it? Sai, seize the time to practice. According to the future prophecies, one day we will encounter each other over the competition for Jinchuriki. So, coming back, do you think Uchiha Shisui is dead? Could it be that Konoha Shinobi kept the news from him and secretly colluded with that Akatsuki organization? It's not too late to analyze the images after viewing them. The current intelligence hasn't been collected yet, right? Well, that's right. The two teenagers in the image have completed the seal of reconciliation. Itachi is a little behind because he is absent-minded. Uchiha Shisui is in high spirits. What do you think I'm better? Well, I lost. Itachi closed the Sharingan and stood up following the hand Shisui handed him. If you weren't absent-minded, Shisui said, it's hard to say who will win or lose. Itachi has some 0.8 differences. Have you discovered it? Shisui smiled helplessly. How many years do you think we have known each other? Then his expression became more formal. Because that matter, it went very badly. Did it go well? Sorry, Itachi looked very disappointed. Although I have tried many methods, the best I can do is delay it for a while. Shisui comforted Itachi, explaining that the situation on his side was not optimistic either. This coup has gathered the strength of the entire clan, and it is really not that easy to stop it. The expressions of the villagers in Konoha village were a little subtle. It's true that they didn't like the Uchiha clan in the past. Those elites always gave people an arrogant feeling. They seemed to be friendly only to people within their own clan, but they were not unfriendly to ordinary villagers like them. But his attitude didn't make people like him much either. Then, the Uchiha genocide. At that time, they had pity on that clan, felt sorry for the only orphan left behind, and resented the cold-bloodedness of Uchiha Itachi. But in this image, for the first time, I know the darkness hidden under the flourishing leaves of Konoha. For a moment, no one knew what to think. Most people are lucky to have escaped a disaster, but some people reflect on what the two teenagers in the video said. Who should change the pervert first, Konoha or Uchiha? It would be great if the child was still alive. The voice of the old lady who spoke was trembling, which showed that she was already quite old. Uchiha Obito, in Kimui's space, heard the old man next to him responded softly, if only that little Obito, who always helped us carry things, was still there. That child's words can definitely change something. The old lady looked at the image, recalling the enthusiastic and cute little Uchiha boy. His words can definitely change things. Under the mask, the man who is nobody pursed his lips. What's the use of letting him hear this now? After all, there is no going back. The old man and the old lady were too old, and their breathing and speaking were very soft. After all, when the young man was still there, they were already gray-haired old people. It's okay, we'll see the kids soon. The old man and the old lady smiled. I left a lot of fruit candies for him. Turning his head away, he was stunned for a while, and the masked man in Kimui's space fled in a hurry. In the image, under the sunset, two young men who trust each other, love the village, and also believe in their family, discuss how to reduce the war, how to change the attitude of the tribe, and how to change the relationship between Konoha and Uchiha by the cliff waterfall on the edge of Konoha. Shisui, although it was just delayed for a while, it's already pretty good. Itachi, so how is the situation over there? Have you found a partner who agrees with you? Talking about the situation on his side, Shisui also seemed very disappointed. It's the same on my side, there's no progress, and I haven't received any response so far. He was looking for members of the Uchiha clan who, like him and Itachi, did not want to launch a coup. As long as there were more clansmen with the same views, they could argue with Mr. Fugaku and abandon the coup plan. As long as we start from ourselves, gradually change Uchiha, and let the villagers of Konoha realize that they have made changes and then reflect on their own changes, sooner or later, Uchiha will be able to truly integrate into Konoha. But after so long, the two teenagers still only have each other. No matter how you say it, they are all the Uchiha clan. Shisui sighed and said, you and I know the centripetal force of the Uchiha clan best. They're all very stubborn guys. The 13-year-old Umbu boy was so sad that he lowered his head. Even the background music sounded very sad. Don't look so frustrated. Shisui smiled and patted Itachi on the shoulder. We have you and me here. This is already the first step to success. Show confidence. Two young boys discussing the next step in the dusk. The scene looks very beautiful, as if the bond will last forever. Senju Tobarama. Tisk, Uchiha is lucky to have these two outstanding young ninjas. 17 Itama looked at his brother and felt that times had really changed. The second brother actually praised Uchiha. Brother, although very immature, but this voice is Sasuke-kun. No one else heard it at first, but when little Sakura shouted, everyone around them focused their attention on the orphan Uchiha. Sasuke Tisk. Sure enough, The face of young Sasuke appeared in the video, calling his brother from a distance and running over, looking like a little follower who had finally found his target. Naruto looked at the image. He had never seen Sasuke like this before. In ninja school, that BD Sasuke always looks like he's FGPD off. In the video, Sasuke, who is chasing his family, looks completely different from when he was in the ninja school. He is looking forward to his brother practicing ninjutsu with him and looking forward to gaining his brother's approval. Is this what brothers feel like? So good. Naruto had a strong desire and yearning in his heart. Originally, my relationship with that guy Sasuke had gotten better because of Aunt Mikoto's incident, but as expected, that BD looked down on him as an orphan like everyone else. Brother Yisue, the Uchiha man that Naruto and the others met not long ago, seems to have had the same appearance since Sasuke was a child. Hey, what are you talking about? Tell me. In the video, Sasuke swayed his little arms and legs, trying his best to act coquettishly to his two brothers. Itachi poked his forehead. It's too early for you now. Let's talk about it later. Forgive me, Sasuke. Puff, not knowing who was nearby. I couldn't help laughing. It must be from Konoha. Don't think I don't know. His face looked like his favorite tomato. Sasuke felt as if he was being publicly executed, and his whole body felt hot with shame. But after the cold passed, Sasuke felt a little sad. At that time, I was too young to help my brother share the burden. So, did Itachi finally take that step? Thinking of Danzo, the elder of Konoha, who viciously took off Shisui's eyes. At that time, Sasuke was violent. According to Sakura, he was bitten by the curse mark of the man named Orochimaru. It turned into strange patterns that spread across his face and hands. At that time, he had a feeling of darkness and power flowing through his body. He wanted to stop this ruined Chunin exam and immediately ran out to find the third Hokage to find out. But fortunately, I was persuaded by others. During this, Gaara's sand exerted great force, and because Naruto was angry, he scolded him a few times, which actually woke him up. After Naruto's reminder, Sasuke realized that he couldn't be so impulsive. His mother was still there, and Itachi's matter was not settled yet, so he couldn't implicate his mother because of his carelessness. 257 After being scolded by Naruto, Sasuke actually wanted to apologize to Naruto several times for saying the wrong thing, but he was afraid that if he deliberately brought it up, it would appear to be more negative. So he opened his mouth several times to apologize, but could not say it. Itachi is really mean-spirited. He didn't even want to tell Sasuke. Shisui hugged the young Sasuke and told lies with his eyes open. We were talking about who is stronger. I am older than Itachi. Of course I am stronger. This discussion should have ended long ago, right, Sasuke? Little puffy face. No, my brother is stronger. Shisui is very good at coaxing children. Brother Shisui, I will be very sad. Rubbing his nose proudly, little Sasuke continued to be a professional brother. There is no way. Who makes my brother a genius? The most powerful. When I was a child, I was so cute and pitiful. Far away in Tangsha Street, Crow Itachi, standing on Midōheim's shoulder, also felt a lot of emotion when he saw Shisui's memories. Now, he can't go back to that time, only as a stepping stone for Sasuke to help him grow into a better person than himself. And as Konoha's foreign spy in Akatsuki, monitoring Madara and secretly protecting Konoha is his current and final value in the future. In Shisui's memories, look at this little Sasuke who forces Itachi to admit that he is better than Shisui because of who is stronger. Shisui felt so soft inside. Family is such a good thing. Perhaps what Itachi sees in his eyes is more of his lovely brother Sasuke, while in Shisui's memory, he sees Itachi, who is more like his brother. Shisui's inner words were played in the video. Every time I see Itachi and Sasuke together, I can't help but want to protect their happiness. So I will never let the clan ruin everything for profit. Itachi, Crow, Shisui, is that what you think? Chapter 68. Danzo's Behavior. Third generation takes off his hat. This is something Itachi never knew. He never thought that Shisui had desperately tried to restore the relationship between the village and the Uchiha clan in order to protect his and Sasuke's happiness. Itachi, Shisui, your chakra is like a kitten wet by rain. It can't find a home or a future. Uzumaki Mito's perception of chakra is even far higher than that of Senju Tobarama, a sentient ninja, thanks to her pure blood Uzumaki's talent. Although it is not considered to be the limit of blood inheritance, this power is the same as the Vajra seal, exists in the ability system of Uzumaki's direct bloodline. Early in the morning, she discovered through the little chakra leaked when Itachi used illusion to control the crow that this young Uchiha man had a very poor physical condition. When Itachi pulled her into Tsukuyami's vision and talked about the changes in Konoha and the ninja world over the years, Mito was really shocked by Itachi's poor health. If this continues, this Uchiha young man's lifespan may be less than 3 years at most. He shouldered all the responsibilities and fates that should not have been his. Itachi could hear the care in Mito Heim's words. Although he was very touched, Itachi was very clear about his own situation. As a murderer and traitor of the Handblade clan, he actually wanted to get to that world earlier, but his father and mother, my lord, I apologize. In the video, Shisui covers her eyes. At that time, he had awakened his own Mangeki Sharingan, distinguished heavenly gods. No matter what means are used, in Shisui's memory, he once secretly swore to himself, no matter what means are used, I will definitely protect the happiness of Itachi and Sasuke. At dusk, in front of the cliff, watching Itachi and Sasuke return home, Shisui made up his mind, 87-inch, that's right. No matter what happens, I will definitely stop it. Don't let anything hinder their happiness. In Kamui's space, humph. After all, you can't protect anything. When Uchiha Obito put on a mask and used Madara's voice, he seemed to have brainwashed himself into Madara. In this world of ninjas, no matter who you are, it's going to be trash. Only the eye of the moon. Only the eye of the moon can truly achieve peace in the ninja world. At that time, there will be no more barriers between people, let alone wars, no deaths, no regrets, and no heroes who can only express the pain of being left alone in front of the commemorative monument. Uchiha Shisui's memories end. At this time, he lost his Sharingan, inhaled a large amount of poisonous gas from the root, and was chased to death by Danzo and his henchmen. The viewers in front of the video all shed a cold sweat for Uchiha Shisui. This content was unknown to 3rd Hokage and the other 2 consultants. At that time, they all thought that Shisui's plan failed. After being collectively murdered by Uchiha Fugaku and other powerful Uchiha elites, they pretended to commit suicide and reported to the village. But when the truth was put in front of the ninja village, they knew. That guy Danzo. The 3rd Hokage took off his Hokage hat and held it in his hand, with anger and sadness in his tone. His action of taking off the Hokage hat was known only to 2 consultants who had known him for many years and his teacher Senju Tobarama. This was Sarutobi Hiruzen's self-blame as the 3rd Hokage. He thought there was no way he could continue to watch this video while wearing the Hokage hat. He felt guilty. But as a ninja, the ninja village is the embodiment of the country's military strength, and tasks often involve death. The 3rd Hokage was taught by the 1st generation and the 2nd Hokage to treat every part of Konoha as a part of their own body and treat everyone in Konoha as their own family. So, as a Hokage, guilt itself is always with him. It's just that Shisui is fine. It should be said that regarding matters related to Danzo and Orochimaru, he has a responsibility that he cannot shirk. The teacher often said that as a ninja, you have to strip away personal emotional factors in order to make the most correct judgment. But in the face of his best friend and his beloved disciple, the 3rd Hokage always retreated again and again, which eventually caused catastrophe to both of them, and also implicated countless Dujong ninjas. Unexpectedly, even Shisui. Actually, the video is nearing its end. Shisui's vision begins to blur. No, he said to himself, we can't fall yet. I still have things that must be done. The huge image is replaced by Uchiha Shisui's Sharingan. Looking at the 3 Magatama Sharingan in the image, many ninjas subconsciously closed their eyes or looked away to avoid being hit by illusions. And Shisui's eyes in the image are not just three Magatama. The Magatama in his Sharingan changed. Between contraction and contraction, a new pattern appeared in Uchiha Shisui's Sharingan. That is a pattern that looks a bit like a spinning shuriken. It is the Manjiki Sharingan that has been mentioned before. Distinguished heavenly gods. The overwhelming air wave knocked away the root members sent by Danzo to encircle and suppress Shisui, and a huge figure appeared in the smoke. The air waves in the image gradually dissipated, and the ninjas watching the image couldn't help but be shocked. They had never seen ninjutsu like this before. No, this is no longer a ninjutsu. The power of Uchiha made them realize the horror of legendary level once again. A bright green ayak the size of a samurai sword shoots out from the smoke that is not yet dissipated. Puff, puff, puff. It's lucky to dodge, but those roots who tried to resist with a small kunai were all hit and fell down. Of the 10 people at the root, only 2 people survived in an instant. The smoke completely dissipated, shocking the whole audience. What kind of monster is that? The huge figure in the smoke before, the green chakra giant wrapped around Uchiha Shisui, has a face like a ghost. Wearing a warrior armor, ghost fire is burning all over the body, and the huge orange Magatama on the chest is like the Magatama in Sharingan. Withdraw. What is that? What is that? The 2 root ninjas in the image, and everyone watching the movie outside the image, all raise questions in unison. They have never seen such a monster. Kingdom of Clouds Lane Village. It's just like a low-end version of the tailed beast. Doesn't the flame burning all over the body look like when Master Wooden Golem explodes the 2 tails? It's unimaginable that someone other than Jinchuriki has such strength. The Land of Water, Kirigakure, the guy who controlled Mizukage-sama. He didn't know how to describe the next words. This kind of power is really too appalling. Country of Wind, Sunagakure Grandma Chio looked at the image solemnly. Fortunately, Uchiha served as a logistics force to clean up the battlefield during the Third Ninja War. Otherwise, Earth Country Iwagakure Susun. Anoki said in shock. Suchikage-sama, when you say Susanoo, you mean? Anoki, who is at Suchikage, recalled that when he followed second Suchikage to Konoha to negotiate, he was blocked by Uchiha Madara. At that time, what Uchiha Madara used was the blue Susanoo. Suchikage recalled the past, and he had to say that he was a little more wary of Uchiha. That was something that even the second-generation people would have a hard time dealing with. The Uchiha clan, the most powerful pupil technique. Fire Country Konoha Uchiha Obito hides in Kamui space. One-eyed Susanoo, that Uchiha Shisui actually has this ability. Having the memory of Uchiha Madara, he is certainly more familiar with Susanoo's power than Uchiha Shisui. But since he only has one Sharingan, Uchiha Obito has never used Susanoo's power. When he saw Uchiha Shisui, who also had only one eye and opened Susanoo with Manjiki Sharingan, he was shocked by his talent and also felt a little jealous. However, just like the problem, Uchiha Shisui's Susanoo was short-lived. Already at the end of his strength, he could only maintain this ability for a few seconds before he lost the physical strength to continue fighting. Shisui brother. Sasuke concentrated on the image. He was worried about what would happen next. Even if this is the past that cannot be changed, take advantage of the moment. The ninjas of Jin never care about being despicable. On the contrary, the more despicable the assassination method is, the more efficient it is. Several kunai stabbed Shisui. After using the body flicker technique to dodge, several huge fireballs were ejected from the woods behind Shisui. Poof, puff, puff, hitting the last 2 root ninja who were chasing Shisui. A figure flashed past, picked up the water, and left the place immediately. Konoha Drill Ground number 44, near the central tower. Sasuke. Brother, today's update, 1/Tsukiyami. Please order. Thank you all. Neither whitewashing anyone nor blackening anyone, completely neutral. Chapter 69 Danzo's Disaster, 4 Battles Advance. The person who rescued Uchiha Shisui from Danzo's root ninja was none other than Uchiha Itachi. Itachi looked at Shisui worriedly, seeing that his right eye was closed tightly, but he could not hide the fact that there was no eyeball in his empty eye socket. "How did you come?" "I had an ominous premonition, so I ended my mission early and came to see you." "Yeah." Shisui's smile looks very helpless. Itachi's dark eyes were not angry, but seemed to be swallowed by darkness. It is another dusk, and the young man who knows each other is speechless. There was silence in the image for a long time. At other times, this moment of silence would be a good opportunity for major ninja villages, civilians, and nobles to interrupt and chat. However, affected by the emotions of the two teenagers who were trying to make changes, this sadness and helplessness made no one in the audience in front of the video speak. Obviously, they were not wrong. They obviously work hard like that. Such two talented teenagers, such young ninjas with dreams and beliefs. After countless people felt sad in their hearts, they couldn't help but hate that despicable Konoha elder. It has to be said that the content of the image is rhythm. They were led by a rhythm. They first heard that Uchiha Shisui planned to use the distinguished heavenly gods to manipulate Fugaku, the leader of the Uchiha tribe, to give up the coup and guide the Uchiha tribe to take the lead in making changes. At this time, people still had different ideas. Some people think this behavior is too bold, but it is still the most effective method. Some people think that Shisui is too naive. How can the xenophobic consciousness hidden in human nature be eliminated? At this time, people did not notice how wrong Elder Danzo's words were. After all, protecting the ninja village is the highest course of action for Konoha's top management, and it is understandable to exclude danger. However, when they realized Danzo's greedy nature, not to mention Konoha, even the other people in the ninja village were shocked. Even in the bloody mist, it was just a matter of survival of the fittest based on the rules. What Danzo did was truly despicable. He had obtained the Sharingan from the Uchiha clan at some point, but using this kind of eye power, he suppressed Uchiha again and again, which is very hard to see. A certain village elder sighed. Resource plundering is a common behavior in the ninja world, but as a high-ranking person, plundering the power of younger people is really unacceptable. All the ninjas near the elder nodded in agreement. Senju Tobarama, Danzo's teacher, was so angry that he burst into tears. He guessed that Danzo must have done more things that he disagreed with, and he felt as if he had been hit by his own tandem paper bombs. If Danzo hadn't used some means to hide himself tightly, Second Hokage would have let him know how fast the Flying Thunder God is, putting a hand on the wall next to him. Senju Tobarama sensed again that there was still no chakra from Danzo. Multiple layers of seals. According to his understanding of Mizo, this kid will definitely not run away, but will be somewhere in Konoha, using the multiple sealing techniques of the Uzumaki clan to block the perception of chakra from the outside world. Senju Tobarama's guess was absolutely correct. At this moment, Danzo was hiding in the deepest part of his roots. Information from the outside world was transmitted to him through a machine that monitored Konoha to avoid being discovered by using chakra. After learning that his persecution of Shisui and possession of Sharingan were known to all of Konoha, Danzo was so angry that he bit one of his back molars. Damn beast! Who is it? Who is the person behind the scenes who is manipulating the image? Danzo roared angrily, and the root ninja around him had been following him for many years. This was the first time for these root ninjas to see Master Danzo so angry. However, they had been trained to downplay human emotions, and they still knelt on one knee, with no fear or expectation on their cold faces. It's like a corpse waiting to receive the next task after a successful completion, or to erase the evidence of its existence on the spot after a failed task. This is the root, no self. Danzo does not know that based on the intelligence conclusions analyzed so far, what makes Senju Tobarama the most angry is other than persecuting Uchiha Shisui or pressuring and accelerating the Uchiha coup in his name as his teacher. The way he trains Genin is the part of Danzo's dirty tricks that is known to make Second Hokage furious. Danzo's behavior completely subverted the original intention of First Hokage, Senju Hashirama, and second Hokage, Senju Tobirama, to establish Konoha, which made Konohagakure, which broke Sengoku's precedent, almost become a joke. As Danzo's teacher, Tobirama, who ordered Danzo and others to protect Konoha before his death, simply could not face his idiot brother, who had sacrificed so much for the ninja village. Of course, if the elder brother is here, Danzo can experience the terror of a ninja god before the terror of the ninja world. He can guarantee that Shimura Danzo will never forget it in his next life. The other side, Uchiha Makoto looked worriedly at his overly gentle eldest son in the image. Itachi, in a soft voice, I don't know how many mothers are worried and looking forward to their children. It's the time when dusk and night moon take over. Shisui finally spoke and told Itachi the situation. It was the people from Jin who did it. My eye was also gouged out by Danzo. Itachi, who was watching the movie in Tangsha Street, looked at the memories of that year again. He remembered that he had no anger in his heart at that time because he was already numb from the pain. Shisui, sorry, it's a pity. It seems there is no way to stop the coup launched by Uchiha. Itachi stood behind him, not saying a word from beginning to end. Shisui looked at the rushing stream under the cliff. If a civil war breaks out between the Konohagakure and Uchiha clans, other countries will definitely order their ninja villages to assemble and attack Konoha while the civil war is happening. In that case, war will be inevitable. That's right. How could people with certain status and ideological patterns here not know the civil strife in Konoha will inevitably attract prying eyes from other countries? Looking at the forces in the entire ninja world who want to take the opportunity to suppress Konoha or even carve up the Fire Nation. How many are there? However, if another country invades, there is no reason why Konoha should not resist vigorously. The hatred that came and went among them made the war worsen. There may be a temporary alliance between Ninja Village and Ninja Village, and they agree to share the post-war benefits after taking over Konoha together. However, not to mention that after the war is over, the distribution of interests may trigger a new war. Even before the war ends, the untrustworthy relationship between the Ninja Village and the Ninja Village is likely to lead to a multi-party melee situation. By then, it will arrive in advance, the Fourth Ninja War. Chapter 70. The leaves are flying, and the fire will burn Thunder Country Cloud Shinobi Village Todai. The courtier of Raikage in the past dynasties had a look of disdain for Danzo. Danzo, what a pity for two good prospects with such a pattern. Fourth Raikage snorted. All Raikage in the past have always looked rough, but in fact they had many twists and turns in their minds. Even for the sake of Cloud Shinobi's future, we can't let these two little guys grow up. No, he has top strength at a young age and has inherited the bloodline of Sharingan, not limited to one clan or one village. As a teenager, he has a mind that is comparable to, or even surpasses, that of a shadow. With the entire ninja world now, it is an ideological pattern based on the entire world. If two of these brats appear at once, Konoha will become extremely arrogant. Tutai twitched his lips. That's true. We should also thank Danzo for this. The image of Cloud Shinobi Village played all over the world. Killer Bee continued to rap. The image that also exists in Konoha. Everyone will see it. BD idiot, we thank Danzo. Konoha is so angry they're in a fight. We have Baby Puff. I don't know who laughed out loud. Yes, 977. Konoha is probably going to be angry to death. The whole world looked at their ninja village, except for the two outstanding young ninjas. It seemed that one was forced to death, and the other killed the entire clan and defected. Well done, Konoha. I really have you. I have to give you a thumbs up. Well done. The other ninja villages had almost the same reaction. The land of water, Kirigakure, they have not forgotten the reason why the fourth Mizukage was manipulated and the blood mist. Therefore, they who are burdened with deep hatred will not be easily moved by images. Although Danzo is a despicable villain, Uchiha is not without his own problems. Do you still remember the reason why the masked man broke into the 5 Kage conference and announced the Fourth Ninja War? Create a large illusion to give everyone peace and happiness. Simply whimsical. So, why is Uchiha so extreme? Who knows? Maybe it has something to do with their eye skills. Fire Country Konoha third generation and two consultants, Yudatane Koharu and Mitokado Hamura, were silent. Especially those two consultants. At that time, third generation repeatedly insisted on solving Uchiha's problem in a more peaceful way. However, the two of them listened to Danzo's words, and as Hokage's advisors, they stood against Hokage, support Danzo, and order the annihilation of the Uchiha clan. Senju Tobarama also said nothing, crossing his arms and staring at the huge image in front of him. Danzo didn't believe in me as an Uchiha from the beginning. He planned to protect the village in his own way at all costs. Uchiha Shisui, my right eye's been taken away by him, and, of course, he doesn't have a left eye either. I will let it go. Itachi, who is still a boy in the video, stares at Shisui without interrupting him. But who would have thought that Shisui actually reached out to his left eye, Weasel Crow, looking at the memory of that year again. Even if he knew what would happen next, he still couldn't let it go. Shisui in the video pressed his fingers hard on his left eye socket. Now that it's over, rather than being snatched away by him, I might as well dig it out myself and give it to you, Itachi. Itachi frowned. Shisui, puff, with a slight noise. Uchiha Shisui suddenly took off his own eyeball with his fingers. The ninjas watching the movie were even startled. The civilians who had never experienced war and bloodshed were so frightened that they screamed and quickly turned their faces away and covered their eyes. Uchiha Shisui, whose eyes were empty, handed his left eye to Itachi. The only thing I can ask for is you, as my best friend, please protect the village and protect the name of the Uchiha clan. A scarlet eyeball is held in Itachi's hand. His face is expressionless, but his heart is not at peace. Can I really protect the village and protect the name of the Uchiha clan? Uchiha Shisui is not unaware of Itachi's confusion. He said, also, what I want to give you is not just this eyeball, but also a new power. Manjiki Sharingan. Itachi Shisui Senju Tobarama. Manjiki Sharingan. Once you give this pupil technique to others, it is equivalent to giving away all your power. And the final result is only exhaustion of life force. Just like Madara's younger brother, Uchiha Izuna. Shisui's voice sounded a little relaxed. Anyway, I can't live much longer. Even if my physical strength can be restored and the injuries on my body are healed, Danzo will not let me go until he sees my body, let alone you and the Uchiha clan. Just think of it as my last gift to you. BG. Sasuke saw the content in the video and was extremely angry at what Danzo had done. Why would brother Shisui attach all these things to his brother alone? He was only 13 years old at that time. Seeing the flash of sadness on Uchiha Itachi's calm face in the video, Sasuke was still extremely conflicted. He desperately wanted to know what happened next. After reading the contents of the previous video, he could no longer be 100% sure that the Uchiha clan was destroyed by Itachi alone. So, who should be his real revenge target? Not only Sasuke can see Itachi's sadness, Shisui, who is blind, can also see it. Why do you have to put on such an expression, Itachi? Shisui said with a slight chuckle in his voice. Even now, I can easily see your appearance. Looking uneasy doesn't suit you at all. If you can remain calm at all times, that's my brother Uchiha Itachi. If it were you, I would definitely be able to do it. Have confidence. Itachi, I want to work with you to change the Uchiha clan. For you, Shisui put his hand on Itachi's shoulder. The road ahead may be dark or even difficult, but I can't be by your side. Forward, Shisui in the video paused, and what he said next moved all the Konoha shinobi in Konoha, including the third Hokage and the two advisors present. Choking for it, Shisui in the video squeezes Itachi's slightly thin shoulders as a young man, as if conveying all his strength and belief. I believe you can stick to your own direction. Immediately afterwards, Shisui's voice was sonorous and powerful. As a ninja of Konoha, move forward. As a ninja of Konoha, even in such a countercurrent zero, even if it is denied by the trusted village. Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi, they still exist as ninjas of Konoha Shinobi Village, being carried away by the rhythm of the image. Konoha Shinobi suddenly felt a sense of pride and pride. Yes, they are Konoha's ninjas. Even though there is darkness in the ninja village, even if there is a narrow-minded and short-sighted senior executive like Danzo in the village, even though they live in this world as ninjas, they have many regrets. As ninjas of Konoha, they all have bonds with their companions. That bond will never fade, let alone change, because of the village. Even if regret and pain will follow the living, the will of the deceased to protect their companions will last forever. That's right, both Haku and Zabuza were born in the Blood Mist, where the Genin exam, where the whole village kills each other, is implemented. Uzumaki Naruto, who was referring to the Chunin exam, also suddenly cheered up. But I'm still I like those two guys, Shiro and Zabuza, because no matter what, the bond between them will never change. Little Sakura, Naruto, Gura, as expected of you. Temari, Kankuro, blonde boy. In front of the Konoha Shinobi School, when the third Hokage was overwhelmed with guilt and self-blame for the tragedy caused by his own mistakes in judgment and trust in Danzo, I don't know who read a familiar poem of the same name. Wherever leaves are flying, fire will burn. Another person added, the shadow of the fire will shine on the village and make new leaves sprout. Third Hokage trembled and choked. When you want to protect the things you cherish, that's when the true power of the ninja comes into play. Muddy tears rolled down his old face. The shadow of fire does not refer to the Hokage alone, but it refers to every ninja with the will of fire in Konohagakure. They were born in the ninja village, graduated from the ninja school, and gained bonds during missions. Their identity gives them glory, and their bond gives them greater power. The shadow with power like fire shines on the ninja village, allowing the power of the new generation to sprout on the giant tree in the sky. Shisui exhaled a breath and looked at the rising sun, which is the dawn of dawn. Thank you always. My road ends here, but it will help you gain new strength and find a new path for you. Chapter 71 Sasuke cries Itachi's worry. Someone silently wiped away tears. Some people choked and clutched the lapels of their chests. The same goes for Uchiha Mikoto, standing in the dark, with tears in her beautiful eyes. She once said, Itachi, compare with your pain, ours is only a moment. But when I really saw it, I realized it more deeply. Shisui and Itachi. These two children are really not easy. The genin from each village who participated in the public examination at Konoha's number 44 training ground were also affected by this video. To be honest, from their point of view, a great ninja village like Konoha is already very good. Small villages like Takigakure and Kusagakure, without a large and fertile country to rely on, will be tasked with tasks that the little devils of Konoha could never imagine. In the image, there are Itachi's memories. He looked at the Uchiha Shisui clan emblem with the fan mark on the back of the Uchiha Shisui clan uniform. And what appeared in front of his eyes was the joyful time we wrote together. Shisui and Itachi are teaching young Sasuke how to use the shuriken technique in the courtyard of the Uchiha mansion. After completing the task, the two fists bumped each other and understood each other without saying anything. This will all end. Shisui, goodbye, my dear friend. The rest is all up to you. Shisui, who was watching the movie in secret. Itachi, Crow in Tongshu Street. Shisui 08. In the video, Uchiha Shisui is relieved to let go of everything, entrusting everything to Itachi with peace of mind, and jumps by himself. On the cliff, the turbulence is as follows. The night is deep, and Itachi is the only one standing there, silent. The camera of the video gradually zooms in on Itachi's profile, and his eyes that had been closed suddenly opened. 3 Magatama's Sharingan becomes chaotic in the pupils. After the chaos, new patterns replace the original 3 Magatama. The triangular diamond dart appears in Itachi's eyes. Another Mangeki Sharingan. Brother, those eyes. It's the kind of eyes I saw on a night of the genocide. Sasuke's mouth was filled with bitterness. Did his brother get it in this situation? What did my brother think at that time? Sasuke suddenly understood. A certain Shao and his childhood news of Uchiha Shisui's death circulates in the family. It is said that he left a medical note saying, "If things continue like this, Uchiha will have no future, and neither will I. I cannot continue to deviate from the Tao," and committed suicide in the Manamaga River. That was the first time Sasuke could remember seeing his brother angry. The elder brother had a quarrel with the elders of the Uchiha clan. The elders said very outrageous things, but the elder brother Itachi did not show any weakness and directly knocked them out. What did your brothers say at that time? One clan, one clan. You who can only say this are nothing but arrogance. Itachi said angrily at that time, "You don't know the depth of my measure, so you're being criticized by me now." Defeat. Itachi believes that it is this kind of self-righteousness and arrogance that makes the Uchiha clan still feel superior to others. Close yourself and alienate yourself from others. Why not try to change? Even if you suffer some grievances, as long as you make changes, isn't it just a matter of time to reconcile with the people of Konoha? Stop it, Itachi. Uchiha Fugaku appeared and angrily scolded Sasuke's brother Itachi. However, Itachi at that time was deeply disappointed with the entire Uchiha clan because of Shisui's death. Itachi stabbed the shuriken into Keiki's Yuanfan. If Sasuke hadn't prayed to Itachi with tears at that time, praying for his resident, Sasuke still remembers that his brother knelt down and apologized to several elders at that time, and the matter was finally over for the time being. But at that time, Sasuke didn't know what his brother had just experienced. What's more, I don't know that my brother who saw Shisui's death with his own eyes was filled with rage when the elders of the clan suspected him of being the murderer of Shisui. Sasuke-kun. Little Sakura gave a quick cry, causing Naruto to look over quickly. I saw Sasuke's hands clutching the hem of his clothes, eyes tightly closed, painful tears falling down his face. Although they didn't cry aloud, as two classmates in Class 7, they felt really sorry for Sasuke and understood that Sasuke's current pain must have made him breathless. Hatred. When hatred has a target, all pain will be transformed into hatred and projected onto the hated target. Therefore, Sasuke kept hugging Itachi. Although it was painful, it did not make him confused. But now, his pain is even worse, but the goal has become confusing, making it impossible for him to catch it. The hatred that had lost its target came back, and the pain added to his body, making it unbearable for Sasuke now. Naruto looked at Sasuke like this, and for some reason he felt so hurt. It hurts a lot. It hurt so much that he forgot what the other party had just said. The pain was so painful that he found it difficult to breathe. But he also knew that at this time, Sasuke would rather cry happily than hold it in, because he had been like this, curled up on the bed alone in a dark room, thinking about why everyone else had parents, but he had nothing. Different from the original work, the 17-year-old Sasuke had already killed Itachi himself after learning everything. When he faced the sea and cried silently, drowning his cries with the sound of the waves, the people in the Eagle Squad only dared to watch from a distance. There has been no defection here yet. Uchiha Sasuke, who was taking the second round of the Chunin exam, was released by Haruno Sakura's embarrassing comfort, and finally couldn't help crying. When he saw his mother resurrected again, Sasuke never cried so ferociously. He seemed to be crying out all the grievances he had suffered for 7 years since the night of the genocide. The cry was so loud that he forgot when and where he was, who he was, and his family in hatred. Just vent all your grievances. He couldn't hear the sound of gravel moving gently around him. Gaara's protective defense shielded Sasuke, just like in the image when he was crying like that. His mother used gravel to cover his embarrassment. Not only Temari, Kankuro, but also Naruto were very surprised by Gaara's behavior. "Thank you." Naruto grinned broadly at Gaara without making a sound, mouthed a thank you, and gave a thumbs up. Gaara nodded very shyly and said nothing. On the other side, Senju Tobirama breathed a sigh of relief after hearing the report from Umbu, who was protecting Naruto and Sasuke. The basis for prescribing Sharingan is emotional fluctuations, but prescribing Manjiki Sharingan requires a lot of pain. It is like using a blind poison as a medicine. Behind the powerful power is the way of tolerance that is difficult to maintain. Therefore, it would be beneficial for Sasuke to cry aloud this time. Uchiha is very fond of cutting corners, but stripping away the extremes of emotions and thoughts does not actually require rejection like Danzo. Ultimately, it was Danzo who went astray and put the cart before the horse. Recalling that during the Fourth Ninja War, his eldest brother Senju Hashirama once praised Uchiha Itachi as a better ninja than himself, the first Hokage, who had the title of Ninja God. Under such circumstances, it is indeed not easy for the remaining Uchiha juniors. The video was normal this time. After playing Uchiha Shisui's Susanoo, it faded into black and disappeared. Uchiha Itachi has long been worried about Sasuke's situation. In Tangshu Street, Itachi realized what he had missed when he heard the conversations of civilians. It turns out that the video is not just for the Akatsuki organization, but is being broadcast around the world. And in the 24 hours when he used illusion to control the crow to fly to Konoha and was bound by the domain barrier, such an image appeared at least twice more. Quack! Mito-sama immediately cast an illusion on Mito-ji, pulling the other party into reading. Mito-sama, Uzumaki Mito smiled. I understand. You are anxious to return to Konoha, right? And so am I. Don't worry, my endurance will not fail to catch up with you. Exiting the world of Tsukuyami, one person and one crow rushed towards Konoha. Chapter 72, Naruto's Choice. Itachi's redemption. This image has pushed Shimura Dans to the forefront. It's just that no matter how grumpy and irritable he is, he still hides in his root shell and dare not come out. The third Hokage asks Tobirama if they want to conduct a large-scale search for the root stronghold. Second-generation project Senju Tobirama hesitated for a moment, thinking that he had to do it himself to minimize the casualty rate. Because Danzo possesses the Manjiki Sharingan, he can also use the Izanagi move that Madara used to fake his death. Moreover, he had learned a lot of Mito's sister's Uzumaki seals, and he also had some achievements in wind-type ninjutsu. If an ordinary ninja used it, no matter how much he learned, it would just be a waste of his life. What's more, where Danzo is hiding, there are a group of roots developed through a special training model as Danzo's former teacher. Tobirama's natural way Danzo's thoughts are a bit extreme. Well, now it has reached a very extreme point. When the time comes, Konoha's Umbu, Elite Genin, and the Root Nin will fight, and the two parties with the casualties were all things he didn't want to see. It's better to wait until Danzo can't hold himself back and come out, and then he, the teacher, will execute the decision. Uchiha Shisui. After no longer thinking about Danzo, Senju Tobirama paid attention to this Uchiha boy who made him quite satisfied. King has a grandson like you. I believe he will be proud of you in the Pure Land. In the Senju mansion, Tobirama praised the junior, whom he recognized. Considering the secrecy of Shisui's resurrection, both Senju Itama and Uchiha Shisui lived with Senju Tobirama in the Senju mansion in Konoha. Koitama was still a little uncomfortable with this. After all, in his impression, he was brutally killed by 5 adult Uchiha just a moment ago. Coupled with the respect and dependence on his brother, Koitama almost became the follower of the adult Tobirama. He grabbed Tobirama's black clothes and looked at Uchiha opposite with a little wariness. Tobirama was also extremely tolerant towards the younger brother he had lost when he was young. He just smiled helplessly at his behavior of grabbing his clothes and hiding behind him, and rubbed his half-black and half-white hairy head. Shisui has heard from elders in the family before that second Hokage is completely different from other Uchihas. After hearing some of the other party's remarks and actions today, I couldn't help but respect the other party even more. Thank you, Lord Second Hokage. No need. Tobirama waved his hand. Frequent use of Manjiki Sharingan will corrode the eyeballs and intracranial nerves to varying degrees. How is your vision now? Uchiha Shisui showed off his Manjiki Sharingan. There was some damage in the past, and my eyesight dropped significantly. But after my resurrection, I found that my eyesight had returned to the moment when I first obtained Manjiki. Tobirama. The people behind this are really incredible. According to the video, there are currently 6 of your eyeballs in the world. Yes, my original right, I should still be in Danzo's hand, and my left, I should be on Itachi's side. Shisui paused. When I died, both eye sockets were empty, but when I was resurrected, they were empty. The eyeball was regenerated, and the same Mangeki Sharingan as before can be opened directly. The abilities of distinguished heavenly gods are also the same as before. Senju Tobarama nodded and picked up the prize given by the death question, which was another pair of Shisui's eyeballs. Are you aware of the existence of eternal Mangeki Sharingan? I've heard a little about it, but I don't know much about the specific information. Shisui smiled. The reason why I gave that eyeball to Itachi is because I hope he can replace it with my eye if necessary in the future. Yeah. Senju Tobarama returned the 2 eyeballs to Shisui. Shisui, second Hokage-sama, what can I do? It's okay. It's just that this method of reshaping the eyeball is somewhat similar to the legendary power of Sage of 6 Paths. Once on the battlefield of the 4th Ninja War, Uzumaki Naruto was saved in this way. The Might Guy from 8 Inner Gates, Death Gate, also refilled an eyeball for Hitaki Kakashi. Tobarama is a little curious about this power. If he can copy a pair of his own Mangeki Sharingan, can he complete the eternal Mangeki Sharingan by combining the eye skills of the 2 eyes? In fact, according to his deduction, if Uchiha Izuna hadn't given his eyes to Madara, Izuna's injury might have been saved, but at most he would have lost the qualification to be a top ninja. This was also the judgment he made after calculating the coordinates, wound cross-section, and lethality at that time. When she met Madara for the next time, Madara said that Izuna died of severe injuries, which was actually quite unexpected by the Senju, second master, to a certain extent. Second Hokage's words made Shisui somewhat different. Does Sage of 6 Paths really exist? Is it not just in legends? Because Black Zetsu has not yet been dealt with, Tobarama, who did not want to alert the snake, did not continue the topic, but ended the conversation with other things. When I have time, I will start to study how to obtain eternity without the need of brother's eyes. Mangeki's abilities. He still has a lot of stupid brother's genes. As long as he solves Black Zetsu and Danzo, he will have plenty of time to research. Forget it. Tell me your purpose. Unsurprisingly, it must be about the young man named Itachi. Second generation Mi-sama. Uchiha Shisui suddenly knelt down in front of Tobarama and said, "Please let me be Akatsuki's spy instead of Itachi. Please." He had asked the 3rd Hokage before, and it was as expected. Shisui could hardly imagine how Itachi could carry out such a genocide mission. That masked man, although he did not see that video, the leader behind Akatsuki even found it unfathomable to him. It would be too dangerous for Itachi to be alone in that place. Understanding what Shisui meant, Senju Tobarama nodded. I agree with your opinion of letting Uchiha Itachi come back. Shisui had some surprise on his face, so Senju Tobarama interrupted him. However, I have no intention of letting you go over and replace him. In fact, the 3rd Hokage sent Itachi as a spy, so he naturally had a secret way of contacting him. Tobarama has confirmed this with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Although the time is uncertain, Itachi will occasionally use Genjutsu to control crows to fly to Konoha and report information to the 3rd Hokage. I have told the 3rd Generation Project that Uchiha Itachi will convey the news to him the next time he comes to Konoha, so that he can return to Konoha and continue to be Uchiha Itachi of Kanagakur. There is no need to hide your resurrection from him. Really, Lord 2nd Generation, although Uchiha no longer exists, Shisui has a vague feeling that there is a power behind this image, leading them to develop in a good direction. Just Itachi, Shisui actually still has anxiety inside. He knew Itachi's tenderness better than anyone else. Because of this, he couldn't wait to hope that Itachi could come back. Kill your father, kill your mother, and destroy your whole family. Shisui knew that from the moment Itachi made this choice, he had left no way for himself to survive. By the way, Senju Tobarama suddenly spoke. What? 2nd Generation has big eyes and big ears. Did I forget to tell you? Uchiha Makoto, Uchiha Itachi's mother, was resurrected by the question of death just like you and me. Danzo's evil deeds have not yet been publicly executed, so he's allowed to live a little longer to accumulate public outrage. Chapter 73. The red-haired girl enters dawn on Itachi's behalf. Uchiha Shisui lowered his head. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, second-generation Sama. In fact, he never dared to think whether his own words alone could rekindle Itachi's hope in life. He knew Itachi too well. Because of this, he knew that it would be difficult for Itachi to return to Konoha alive. But as a betrayal, Uchiha Itachi, will always fight alongside Uchiha Shisui. Uchiha Shisui, will always fight alongside Uchiha Itachi. Shisui swore to herself that she would bring Itachi back no matter what. If Itachi's mother, Mikoto-sama, is resurrected, Shisui desperately wanted to see her, ask her to forgive Itachi, and ask her not to blame Itachi. For the Uchiha clan, let him and Itachi bear all the sins of Itachi. Second Hokage did not accept Uchiha Shisui's thanks. You don't need to thank me. I didn't do my best in this matter. Shisui was stunned. That's thinking of the blonde kid, and then thinking of the boy who changed the fate of the entire world in the Fourth Ninja War. There was a warm smile on Senju Tobarama's lips. You should thank Uzumaki Naruto. If I were asked to make a choice, I would not necessarily choose Uchiha Mikoto. He snorted and cursed. That stupid boy is always so unexpected. Sure enough, being with that kid was like fighting side by side with a big brother. So reliable. Okay, you can go see the person you want to see, but there is Umbu arranged by me to protect her secretly. Your resurrection and whereabouts must be kept secret. Use the illusion first. Don't I need to say more? 737. Shisui clear. After bowing respectfully to the second Hokage, Shisui appeared in front of Tobarama and Itama in the blink of an eye. On the other side, Konoha training ground no. 44 Naruto suppressed his face, shook his hands and feet, and shouted, "Can't you go back after completing the exam?" Yumino, Irika. This is an order just issued from above. All candidates are required to stay here until 5 days later, and all candidates who have passed and failed the exam will leave together. In addition to Konoha, this exam also includes Kirigakure, Sunagakure, Takigakure Village, Kusagakure Village, Rain Shinobi Village, etc. Although they signed a life and death certificate, most of the Genin who lost their fighting consciousness were rescued by Genin and Umbu who were sent later, including several of him and the ninja who were poisoned by Kankuro over there. I got a revelation from the Ninja Alliance about the Fourth Ninja War. In fact, just like when Konoha was just establishing the village, the families could not trust each other. After the formation was broken up, it was unknown that it could not use its maximum advantage. Instead, its strength was greatly reduced due to grudges. Couldn't complete the task better. So the second Hokage at that time established the Konoha Shinobi School in one fell swoop. Let those children who have not been eroded by hatred take classes together, understand each other, and break down the barriers of family concepts. Let the children form the seal of opposition and the seal of reconciliation in the ninja school. Gain friendship through repeated discussions and training, and then find mutual bonds in their respective teams. The same will be true for the future Ninja Alliance, AIAI, Army. The ninjas who have witnessed the Ninja Alliance fight against 10 Tails together. Under the leadership of Uzumaki Naruto, they tug of war, with Uchiha Obito to liberate other tail beasts. Second Hokage, who was resurrected from the Pure Land, felt that there was nothing wrong with him. It was better to let the ninjas of each village get familiar with each other at the Konoha training ground after watching the video of the captain of the Ninja Alliance. At this moment, there are no enemies here. Of course, there will still be Konoha Genin secretly protecting him to avoid serious gladiatorial incidents. Haruno, Sakura. Does this mean we have to stay in the central tower for another 3 days? Irika nodded. That's right. Naruto was very depressed. What about the food? Where about Ichiraka ramen? Mister, Irika lied, but I am so looking forward to taking Gaara and the others to try the best ramen in Konoha. Is it possible that after 2 or 3 days, Ichiraka ramen shop will run away on its own? Irika pretended to be angry, but after seeing Naruto's pathetic look with his head hanging down, he said, "Well," he scratched face, "I'll give you an extra portion of barbecued pork then." Real, Sakura. Ah, Mr. Irika is so cunning and partial. Add it all, add it all. Goodbye. This month's salary and next month's salary. Including Yumino Irika leading the team, there are a total of 7 people here. Temari and Kankuro still listen to Gaara. Gaara will presumably follow Naruto's will. Little Sakura occasionally yelled at Naruto, but her eyes often glanced towards Sasuke, wanting to comfort him, but she also knew that it was best to leave Sasuke alone at this time. Sasuke cried too much this time, and the sun was almost setting after he gradually recovered and stabilized. Even so, he was in a low mood and never said a word. He followed little Sakura and Naruto back to the central tower together. I thought about my brother, family, and village for a while. For a moment, he was angry at Shimura Danza's despicableness, and even angry at the third generation project for always putting up with Danzo. Even when his mind was in a mess, he could still remember that he had just said those words to Naruto, which resulted in neither of them saying a word to each other until now. In the central tower, several groups of teams have begun to map out territory to find suitable rooms to rest under the guidance of the guide Chunin. At this point, it's dinner time. Naruto and the others were already starving. Irika is a kind-hearted person and knows the Chunin guides of several teams here. After choosing a restroom, he marked it and asked other Chunin to help take a look, and then began to arrange for 6 people to collect food. Hey, kid over there. Naruto and others looked over and saw that it was a Chunin from Konoha who was not familiar with them. The man threw something like Gaara, but was blocked by the sand defense. The sand that caught the thing moved to Gaara's eyes. Gaara was a little confused when she saw the thing. It's chocolate. Chunin looked a little embarrassed. It's just a piece. It was originally going to be given to my sister from a ninja school, but who knew she would have a mission suddenly? Why give it to me? Gaara looked at the Chunin expressionlessly. Chunin scratched his face and looked embarrassed. In that image, it's the one in the future where your boy will become the captain of the Ninja Alliance. That's right. In fact, after watching this image, Chunin saw the one in Gaara's childhood image. The young Gaara looked a little younger than his sister, but he was treated like that, and he felt a little bit different. It was the first time Gaara received a gift, and she didn't know what to do with it. Naruto, idiot, just open it and eat it. Then remember to say thank you. Yep, it's all those images that make this boy from Sand Shinobi more popular than him. A native of Konoha. Thanks, sweet. Tasty. Gaara said out of context. As an older sister, Temari suddenly felt that it was great to come to Konoha to take the Chunin exam this time. Irika, but we still need to find some more food. The teacher has just agreed with the facilitator of another group that he will lend us the pot later. Now let's find something to cook. The teacher will give us show your skills. Irika-sensei, do you want to cook? Can you eat it? Oh man, a fist hit Naruto on the head, and Irika coaxed the 6 people away to continue their field practice. Since Sasuke and Naruto are still having a Cold War. The team is still Naruto, Gaara, Temari, and Sasuke, Sakura, and Kankuro. Irika, who is worried about Naruto, is still sorry because of the following. Sasuke's group is followed by Naruto's group. At this time, we were still at Konoha's 44th training ground. A team of Kuzakure village ninjas who still haven't found all the scrolls are scolding the outsider from the same team, who is enjoying their favor. The girl with long red hair is surprisingly thin. The large and small wounds on the body are all human teeth marks. They were densely intertwined on her arms, legs, waist, neck, and other places. Hey, you are so weak, so don't cause us any trouble. That's it. Useless guy. Let's go find some food. You take the scroll and hide. Okay. The girl didn't resist and followed Scroll Duo to cower in a small tree hole. Hungry and cold, she quickly fell asleep in a tree hole. Mom, a dream talk, a line of clear tears. Uzumaki Heimkun, who was about to arrive, showed a kind smile. I'm afraid those grass ninjas don't want to live anymore. Chapter 74, Dark Sasuke, teases the grass ninja walking behind. He whispered the name of the black-haired boy worriedly. At this time, the boy's eyes were still swollen, with big eye bubbles, and the corners of his eyes were red from repeated rubbing. His eyes were half opened. His face was full of exhaustion, and he had no energy at all. Alas, Kankuro sighed. He can't do anything like this. It's better to stay in the tower to avoid causing trouble if something happens later. Sometimes Kankuro's words are not malicious, but he doesn't think clearly, and he is very similar to Konoha's Inuzuka Kiba. Now that they are all in a team, Haruno Sakura is not as afraid of the Sand Shinobi trio when they first met. She immediately glared at Kankuro after he finished speaking. Sasuke-kun, little Sakura didn't know what to say. The situation in Sasuke-kun's family was too complicated, and anyone who suddenly knew such a 413 news that subverted their own understanding would be confused. But it's really hard for little Sakura, who grew up in a very ordinary family, to understand the feelings of Sasuke and Naruto. Kankuro also probably knew that the other person probably didn't want to hear what he was talking to. So he waved his hand. Okay, you take care of him, and I'll go find food. Alas, I knew these two couldn't help. Although Haruno Sakura was a little embarrassed, Sasuke's current situation was indeed special. After a moment of hesitation, she did not refuse Kankuro. I'm sorry to trouble you. It's okay. Your golden-haired boy's teammate can be considered a big help to my brother. Younger brother? Tisk, Gaara, that stinky guy has never treated me and Temari as his brothers and sisters before. After learning the truth, the idiot brother actually quietly grabbed him and Temari and apologized in a low voice. Call him brother for the first time. Call Temari sister. Well, even though it was only once, I still got used to calling them Temari and Kankuro directly. Kankuro left, and little Sakura took Sasuke to a place with fewer trees. For a girl like Sakura, who is careful, she thought that the nearby bushes were blocking out the sun, and the damp feeling would only make people feel more depressed. As long as you get out of here and find a place where you can see the sky, your mood should be more relaxed. In fact, at this time, little Sakura kind of wished Naruto was here. Although sometimes Naruto always said some outrageous things, which even made her annoying. But at this moment, having Naruto around would make her feel more at ease. Only after Naruto made Sasuke-kun angry, Sasuke could scold him like he was stupid again, and the two of them would fight and forget their worries. She discovered when Team 7 was on a mission that Sasuke-kun was too deep when he was alone and carried too many things, making him no longer the same age as her and Naruto. Anyway, I hope that once Kankuro finds enough food, he can go back and talk to Naruto. Quickly, little Sakura discovered that there were members of other groups in front of her. Although they were no longer competitors, as a ninja, she still had to be alert immediately. Still a little distracted, Sasuke passively followed Haruno Sakura and hid in a bush. The two male Kusanagi, standing dozens of meters away, did not notice their presence at all. What bad luck! Oh, in this Chunin exam, our opponents are all monsters. How can we win? Didn't you see the image? That person named Gaara is the Kazekage of the future, or the captain of the entire ninja alliance. With a guy like that here, how can Chunin get our turn? TSK, but if we just go back like this in the village, why don't you put the blame on that guy? Just say that when we snatched other sets of scrolls, she didn't protect the scroll in our hands. In this way, even if we fail, it is not ours. Wrong, right? Although I am not willing to do so. This is indeed a solution. In order to cover up his despicable thoughts, another grass ninja's voice suddenly increased. There's nothing we can do about it. After all, that guy is of no use, and this Chunin exam is full of monsters. Didn't you see it? Well, with Uchiha's power in this exam, there's that S-class rebellious ninja brother who killed the entire clan. Maybe he is also a murderer. Little Sakura. She immediately went to see Sasuke, and sure enough, Mr. Sasuke, who had looked so depressed just a moment ago, was now pale, but with a ferocious expression like Shura. Sasuke-kun. Little Sakura was so frightened that she called out his name softly and wanted to grab his clothes to stop him, but her outstretched hands were too trembling to hold him back. Sakura, you stay here. After Sasuke said that, he jumped out. Sasuke-kun. The two grass ninjas on the opposite side said, You Uchiha Sasuke? The two grass ninjas were startled when they saw Sasuke suddenly appear. Later, when they reacted, instead of fighting, they fled. I have heard the rumors about Uchiha Itachi the S-level rebel ninja, in Konoha, and I have seen the image of the masked man who single-handedly started the Fourth Ninja War. And I know that he is also an Uchiha. When they saw Sasuke, who was also Uchiha, the two of them thought that there was no need to fight at all, and it was better to run for their lives. Want to escape? Sasuke glared at Sharingan angrily, and the curse mark on his neck felt like a burning sensation. Because the second Hokage only added a temporary seal to the curse seal, it was not very strong. The curse mark on Sasuke's neck turned red. He let out a tisk dash and endured the pain as he chased after the two grass ninjas. Sasuke-kun. Little Sakura then jumped out of the bushes and chased after him. Kusanagi, is that guy crazy? Sure enough, he is also a murderer. Run away, run to that guy. Yes, as long as she is here, we can recover from any injuries. Even that Uchiha, we can grind him to death. At this time, Xiang Phosphorus didn't know that he might be in disaster. With little fighting ability, she was still huddled in the tree hole, holding the scroll of earth tightly in her hands, hoping that the other two companions 2.2 would think of bringing her back some food. Hello. Xiang Liao heard a familiar voice. It was two people coming back. She immediately emerged from the tree hole obediently. Seeing her two companions running in a panic, she became a little nervous. What's wrong? Is there anything you need from me? As soon as they finished asking, Sasuke, who had been acting like a cat and mouse, venting his pain, stood behind the two of them. What? You're not running away. Today's update, 1/tail beast bomb. Please be sure, I cried. I had a bad cold for many days in a row, but I still tried hard to update when I saw some readers liked it. What happened this morning really hit me hard, and I feel very sorry for it as an editor. Thank you all for your continued support. Send you Hashirama style head smashing on the table as a big thank you. Chapter 75. Destroying the country and destroying the village. Uzumaki, Ninja Kusanagi. Uchiha. This look undoubtedly angered Sasuke even more. The Uchiha are a glorious clan, but they overturned the world's perception overnight. His brother bore all the pain for the sake of the peace of the ninja village and the ninja world, but those guys called him an executioner and a murderer. Even when you meet him, you regard him as a devil or a monster. Oh, is there another companion? Sasuke stared at the three grass ninjas gloomily. If I were you, I wouldn't escape to my companion. Since you say that my brother and I are murderers, then if I don't kill you, wouldn't I be sorry for this title? The implication is that he came specifically to find his companion, just to let him kill one more person. Sasuke-kun. Little Sakura screamed from behind, hoping to bring back the usual Uchiha Sasuke, who looked cold but was actually warmer and softer than anyone else. Well, the curse seal was aching again, and Sasuke felt a little confused and hot in his head. Just one Orochimaru's 08 voice appeared inexplicably in his ears. Kill, kill, kill them, Sasuke-kun. On the opposite side, one of the grass ninjas couldn't hide, so without saying a word, he grabbed Xiang Lian's arm and bit it. Sasuke and little Sakura were stunned. Why would they bite their companions? After the grass ninja finished biting, the red-haired girl was pulled over by another person like a public utensil, exposed her arm, and bit it down. The red-haired girl only made a very small voice, and she seemed to be used to it. Only after the two of them threw her away, Toanchuan hugged the bitten place and whispered in pain. Little Sakura, actually, biting your own companion. Sasuke observed carefully. Sakura, look at the state of those two grass ninjas. Under Sasuke's prompting, little Sakura immediately discovered that after biting the girl, the two grass ninjas who had been chased by Sasuke-kun just now and were out of breath actually quickly returned to their best condition. Little Sakura, ninjutsu? I've never heard of such a ninjutsu. Sasuke. The two of them looked at the red-haired girl over there with inquiring eyes. Xiangling said in fright. Because of her past experiences, she was very wary of people, especially people who saw her ability. She carefully curled herself up and looked at Haruno Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke with fear. Sakura asked unconsciously, "Are you really companions?" Rather than being a companion, The treatment that girl received and her obedient and fearful attitude were nothing like the relationship between her and Sasuke-kun and Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke also felt this. Hey, woman, let me ask you, are you their companion? Ah, Xiangling made a sound and then fell silent. Could she be considered their companion? Do they consider her a companion? She looked at Sasuke in fear, not knowing how to answer. Sasuke was a little impatient, but it looked like the woman was forced to be their companion. Then let's deal with you two first, Kusanagi. Don't be too arrogant. Two grass ninjas, Genin, took out kunai and shurikens and threw them at them almost like a mindless attack like Uchiha Sasuke. Fire style, great fireball technique. Speaking of which, the two grass ninjas were really useless and weak. They couldn't even feint an attack. They took out half of the shurikens in their ninja tool bag and threw them out. In the end, they were all eliminated by Sasuke with a great fireball, and he was almost killed, burned by the incoming fireball. Even Haruno Sakura can't stand this level of strength. Sasuke snorted coldly and was about to try the new move he copied from Rock Lee, the lion combo. Sudden question. The robotic voice that scared all the genin who took this Chunin exam to death during the first exam rang in their ears. Question. After the Uzumaki country and Yuzushiobikure village were destroyed, the orphan girl who lived in the country of grass and the hidden grass village. What is her surname? Prize 1. Sacrifice free. Sealing technique, sealing the ghouls. Used once. How to use. Make seals in sequence, Jihai was after putting your hands together. Just shout sealing technique. Seal the ghosts. Reward 2. Corresponding to the respondent's ninja village. 10 dead ninjas are randomly selected. The respondent can choose one person at will. Resurrected. Sealing technique. Seal all corpses? What is this? Ninjutsu. Can only be used once? Are there any ninjutsu that require sacrifices? The questions this time are the same as the questions in the first exam last time, and the amount of information is huge. The country of Whirlpool. They have never heard of such a country. I have never heard of the village Yuzushiobikure. What shocked Uchiha Sasuke, an orphan whose clan was wiped out, was that there were still people whose country and village were wiped out. If a village has been wiped out, there should be many forms. The focus seems to be on the hint in the second half of the sentence. A girl who lives in the country of grass and hidden grass village. Sasuke stared at the grass ninjas on the opposite side with an expression on his face. This question clearly gave them an advantage. However, the two grass ninjas on the opposite side also looked confused. What is the country of Whirlpool? What is the hidden village of Whirlpool? The grass ninja accepted some ninjas from other villages due to village policy issues, such as the red-haired woman over there. But among those outsiders, who knows which one is from Yuzushiobikure? There are only 5 people trapped in the domain barrier this time. 2 Kusanagi, Ko 453 Phosphorus, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura. After the previous horror questions and answers, they all knew that they could not speak, and written speech recording might be judged as answering questions. Of course, it's good to answer correctly, but not everyone has the same luck as Uzumaki Naruto. You can answer the questions correctly just by yelling. Time passed by minute. It is still a psychological test because within the scope of the horror question and answer, they are always tightening the thread in their heads, wary of accidentally speaking, wary of the enemy's attack, wary of what else is hidden. Rules kill instantly. Kankuro found the food and looked for it according to the excellent message left by Haruno Sakura. When he found that the situation was not good, he immediately went back to inform Gaara, Naruto, and others. There are also 2 people who are rushing to Konoha. Weasel Crow, bad premonition. Although Uzumaki Mito couldn't help but understand what the crow said, she was good at reading the changes in chakra and immediately understood Itachi's anxiety. Speed up a little faster. Go straight from here to Konoha's number 44 training ground. You don't need to take the main entrance to Detour. There are other places. I can also open the chakra defensive barrier at any time. Weasel Crow, quack, quack. Thank you, Mito-sama. Chapter 76. Teeth marks all over the healing girl. It has been nearly an hour since entering the realm of horror questions and answers. The first to lose control of their emotions were the two ninjas who had little ability and were afraid of death. They grabbed the hair of the red-haired girl in the same group and shook it vigorously, as if they wanted her to answer. The girl covered her mouth desperately and did not dare to make sound. She knelt on the ground with tears streaming down her cheeks. While struggling, her exposed waist, calves, thighs, arms, and neck were actually covered with countless tooth marks. They were so densely packed that it made people feel sick to see them. Judging from the tooth marks, this definitely did not come from the mouths of 2 or 3 people. There are big and small, new and old tooth marks, which may be the marks from hundreds of people. Well, little Sakura covered her mouth, her stomach churning with nausea as she hadn't eaten her dinner yet. She doesn't know how twisted human nature is to do such a cruel thing to a 12 or 13-year-old girl. If she hadn't covered her mouth in time and there was nothing in her stomach, she might have vomited it out. Some of the teeth marks were superimposed on other teeth marks, old and new. You can imagine the treatment of that grass ninja girl. I just don't know why I wanted to bite that girl. Could it be some kind of ritual from the country of grass? Looking at the scene in front of him in shock, the information in Uchiha Sasuke's mind suddenly became a thread. The question is, the surname of the orphan girl who lived in the country of Uzumaki and the hidden Uzumaki village after the country was destroyed. I learned the information about Kuzakure village when I was in ninja school. It is a village in the small country of grass country sandwiched between the fire country Konoha, the earth country Iwagakure, the Takino country Takigakure village, and the rain country Rain Shinobi village. It once existed as an important battle zone during the Third Ninja War. It seems that because the small country is not strong, the country of grass accepts a large number of foreigners, but the following parts are not written in textbooks. Thinking about the treatment of the red-haired girl, it can be basically concluded that she is one of the outsiders. This made Sasuke feel frightened and even a little angry. I don't know why she ended up in the country of grass, but with such a unique secret skill, she is almost the same. No. Medical ninjas are an important resource in wars everywhere. The girl has unique abilities that no medical ninja can match. From a certain point of view, if this ability is her family secret, then the possibility of being spied on by the ninja world after this ability is discovered is not too high. I have never heard of any family having such a heaven-defying line of inheritance. Even if it does, it should be well protected by the village, unless there's only one possibility. This girl, just like him, the family was destroyed. Thinking about this, he shot out a kunai, fast and hard. The Kusanagi ninja's arm that grabbed Xiang Ling's hair flew over and nailed it to the tree trunk behind. Blood spurted out. The grass ninja gritted his teeth and covered his bleeding arm and looked back. Most of the kunai had not penetrated into the trunk of the tree. This shows how much force the person throwing the kunai used. Sasuke cannot speak, he can only act. Sharingan turns on and rushes over at extremely fast speeds. Lion combo. He silently recited the name of his new move in his mind. With forte in his body, he supported the ground with one hand, raised his leg, and performed a roundhouse kick that hit the Kusanagi's chin. This kick was so powerful that it knocked the Kusanagi several meters into the air. Bounced quickly, and in the blink of an eye, Sasuke appeared behind the floating grass ninja. Pressing the Kusanagi's back, he twisted his wrist, turned around, and launched another roundhouse kick. Immediately afterwards, he used the force to reach the top of the floating grass ninja, and his left forearm replaced the calf of the roundhouse kick and hit the grass ninja's chest. The grass ninja coughed up a mouthful of blood. The final blow. Sasuke said in his mind. The last roundhouse kick uses the leg as a whip, and the heel hits the Kusanagi's abdomen, knocking him to the ground directly. The grass ninja took another mouthful of blood and passed out immediately. All this happened quietly in less than 2 seconds, leaving Xiang Lugua and Wei Fu, who had been bullied and humiliated a moment ago, kneeling on the ground and looking at Sasuke, not knowing how to react. Xiang Ling was about to speak, but Sasuke covered his mouth. Use your eyes to signal her. Idiot! Are you going to die? Xiang Ling nodded quickly, too scared to speak, so he let her go. The speed of the instant kill knocked out one grass ninja, and the other quickly dropped his companions and fled to the edge of the domain barrier, dangling a kunai in front of him, and seemed to have no sense of fighting. Sakura, who was not far away, also hurried over and applied some Konoha ointment to the new wound. Xiang Phosphorus, who had never received such treatment before, was astonished as a ragdoll, being manipulated by little Sakura. Only after you react can you stare into your eyes and shed tears. In this way, Sasuke and Sakura also felt a little pity for this grass ninja girl. Sasuke knew that she should be the descendant of a family with special abilities just like him. It's just that this girl lives among the grass ninjas. The grass ninja accepted her openly. Secretly, they were treated worse than pigs or dogs. Sasuke. At this time, Naruto, Gaara, Iruka, and others came after getting the news. Sakura-chan. Sasuke. Naruto yelled outside the domain barrier, his anxious look not at all like his usual silly look. Naruto. Sasuke and little Sakura looked in Naruto's direction. I will definitely save you. Just wait for me. Naruto punched the invisible wall of air one after another. Boom, boom, boom. He could feel the barrier ripples like water, completely blocking out Naruto's power. I'll try. Gaara spread his arms with the palms of his hands facing upwards, opened the lid of the gourd, and streams of gravel poured out from it. At the same time, thin sand also appeared on the ground, and the thin sand flowed, turning the underground soil into sand. When it meets the sand in the gourd, it has already shown a surging momentum. This was Gaara's inspiration when she saw a video of her future self fighting against her father as the fourth Kazekage. It's like a wall of sand, or like a wave of sand, hitting the domain barrier with a bang. Just like Naruto's fist hitting it, it caused huge ripples. Sasuke and little Sakura saw them all coming and felt a lot more at ease. Although the domain barrier still doesn't look like it can be opened, the companions' determination to save them so desperately is still touching. Sasuke, Naruto, little Sakura, even Gaara, and Iruka-sensei, Konoha looked at the Konoha shinobi and sand shinobi outside the realm barrier. These people were trying to save Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura. Is this companion? Which village do my mother and I belong to? Xiang Lian couldn't help but start to think about the life after he and his mother were accepted by the Kusanagi village. No matter how they looked, they didn't look like people who had a sense of belonging, of village, and companions. Outside the domain barrier, the sand continued to attack the barrier for dozens of minutes. Apart from the same ripples as at the beginning, there was no change in the barrier. Gaara also tried to gather the sand into the shape of an awl to increase the hardness of the sand, and Zhao attacked the domain barrier like a drill based on the location. But after more than 10 minutes, the invisible wall remained motionless. No. Naruto continued pounding anxiously. Yamano Iruka, as their former ninja school teacher, quickly calmed down. Sasuke, Sakura, you must not make a sound. You know, not if you understand. Sasuke and Sakura nodded respectively to show that they understood. Iruka, what's the problem this time? Can you find a way to tell the teacher? Little Sakura glanced at Sasuke, nodded to teacher Iruka, and ran to the edge of the field barrier closest to them and the others. I found a tree branch on the ground and wrote the question on the ground one by one. Question. After the country of Uzumaki, Yuzushio Hidden Village was destroyed, he lived in the country of grass. Sakura is just halfway through writing. Naruto suddenly burst out and shouted, Sakura-chan, be careful. Chapter 77, the situation is critical. Something happened to Class 7. It's another grass ninja. He actually suddenly shot a kunai when Haruno Sakura's back was turned to him and everyone's eyes were focused on the words on the ground. Oops. The area of the field barrier is very large. Sasuke is far away at this time. Even if he throws another kunai or shuriken, it will be difficult to catch up with the speed to fly away the kunai projected by the grass ninja. Haruno Sakura instinctively moved aside when Naruto shouted. The kunai flew past her calf, hit the field barrier, and fell down. Little Sakura felt a kind of pain. Her hands quickly covered the lower part of her calf and the upper part of her ankle. Irika knew immediately that little Sakura had been scratched by a kunai. "Hush, Sakura," Irika reminded. Little Sakura nodded, but when she moved her hand away, she felt dizzy when she saw the blood on her fingertips turned an unnatural blue-black color. Kunai is fed poison. Basic poisons are explained in the ninja school courses, and students are also required to have a certain number of antidote pills in their ninja tool bags at all times. As a top student, little Sakura quickly opened her ninja bag, took out 2 antidote pills, swallowed one, crushed the other, and applied it to the wound. After the Jiddu pill comes into contact with the wound, the toxicity in the wound not only does not weaken, but has a tendency to intensify. Irika was shocked. The antidote pills don't work? The best person here is Kankuro of San Shinobi. He carefully identified the changes in the wounds on Haruno Sakura's legs, as well as the convulsions, sweating, and other states of her whole body. It's a poison specially prepared from a plant in the Kingdom of Grass. It doesn't look very toxic in itself, and is no different from ordinary poisons, but if it is neutralized with a general antidote. "Naruto, what will happen? Let me tell you." Kankuro's expression was a little solemn. The toxicity increased at least twice. Sasuke was furious. He rushed in front of the grass ninja and broke his arm before anyone could react. "On my hand." Chaurin couldn't hold back the pain and exclaimed. Bang! Blood mist filled the air, and flying flesh foam splashed all over Sasuke's body. At this time, Sasuke's body, face, and hair were covered in blood, and strange black lines could be seen on the left half of his body and face. Even the second Hokage, the temporary seal was not strong enough, and the curse seal placed by Orochimaru was broken. Xiangling was so frightened that she hugged herself tightly and curled up, not because of sudden death, but the chakra on Uchiha Sasuke cold, dark, terrifying, and corrosive. She had never felt such chakra before, as if she had fallen into the mud of an abyss, and had the illusion that she could not climb out. Naruto, Sakura, and others were also frightened by Sasuke's situation. Naruto punched the second barrier. Little Sakura looked very bad, and Sukya looked very strange. Inside the barrier, Sasuke had a gloomy face, feeling the power surging in his body. Naruto felt that Sasuke was in a bad state now, so he punched him one after another. "A whole Sasuke, you have to hold on." Bang! Bang! "Wait for me." Bang! Bang! "Wait for me." Sasuke, little Sakura, how do you need to use my power again so soon? But this is better. The seal of the 4th generation's purpose is no longer so strong. Come on, you need more power. Please pray that I will lend you my power. I add Uzumaki Naruto, Irika, Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro standing behind Naruto could all feel the changes that had taken place on Naruto's body. There was a faint red light, replacing the original light blue chakra of the human body. Naruto, Irika, and Gaara worried about Naruto. Hey, isn't it? The Temari Kankuro siblings had seen Gaara go berserk and were worried that Naruto would do the same. Compared with them, the one who understands Naruto's current situation better is actually the man with unique chakra perception ability. It was darker than Sasuke, who had curse marks covering half of his body. More evil, angrier. This chakra is like a gathering of hatred, like a surging active volcano. It is ready to erupt at any time and swallow up those things it hates. Why so angry? Xiang Phosphorus can feel that the chakra used by Uzumaki Naruto outside the barrier at this moment is a kind of poison. For example, drinking poison to quench thirst will cause harm to oneself while using power. Looking at the girl named Sakura who had just applied medicine to him, Xiang Phosphorus was a little envious and a little sad for a moment. The 3 of them save each other, and the feeling of caring about each other is the friendship of companions. An outsider like her would never have this kind of bond, no matter where she is. Isn't it? She should have known. She and her mother do not belong to any village. Without an effective antidote, little Sakura's breathing became a little difficult. Sasuke was fighting against the power within him. Naruto used the power of 9 tails, and his eyes turned into red beast eyes. Gaara used sand to help him attack the barrier. Others are basically unable to help, and the situation is not optimistic. At this time, two more groups of people appeared here. Colon Quack. Sasuke, the power of nine tails. That red-haired girl is colon Naruto. Sasuke. Sakura, he actually used the power of nine tails again. Colon, how so? Chapter 78, Uzumaki Mito angrily pointed at the grass ninja Kakashi-sama. Second generation Sama. Third generation Sama. That's right. After Irika got the news, he immediately asked his acquaintance Chūnin to convey the news to Lord Hokage as soon as possible. At that time, Kakashi happened to want to ask Mr. Second Generation if he could get some permissions and information because of the messy questions in his mind, and he got the news at the same time. The last time Naruto exploded Nine Tails Chakra, Second Generation Senju Tobirama left his Flying Thunder God mark on Naruto and Itama. So he directly brought Kakashi and Third Generation a Flying Thunder God to appear on spot. The appearance of these three people restored most of Naruto's sanity, and his mind was finally no longer eroded by anger and anxiety. The red beast eyes gradually returned to the sky blue of the past. Naruto, Kakashi-sensei, Grandpa Hokage, second generation brother. Kakashi, I dare not answer. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I really didn't dare to answer. Senju Tobirama, why did I become the lowest ranking person? None of this is important, I say. Naruto frowned and yelled. Sasuke and little Sakura are trapped in there. Second generation brother, can you use your swoosh method to get in? Swish rescue Sasuke and little Sakura. Senju Tobirama shook his head. He tried it last time when he, Uchiha Shisui, and Sarutobi Hiruzen were trapped in the field barrier. Naruto was very impatient. What should we do? Hateful. Naruto was extremely anxious. Little Sakura was in such a state that she couldn't wait any longer, and Sasuke looked weird. At this time, there were two more people. No, it was a man and a crow that jumped out of the forest. The black crow swooped down, flapping its wings and hovering above the realm barrier. The red-haired woman who came out later surprised Senju Tobirama and Sarutobi Hiruzen, and they didn't know what to say. Water, water, Mito-san. Senju Tobirama's expression couldn't be more exciting. The same is true for third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Mito-sama, as a disciple of first generation and Nidaime. The woman in front of him is also a teacher and mother to the students in their Hokage class. I really didn't expect that this adult was actually resurrected, and like Mr. Tobirama, he returned to his youthful appearance. Oh, Tobirama, are you resurrected too? Mito-hime looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen again. The little monkey is getting old. Yes, Master Mito. Third Hokage bowed his head respectfully. Mito-hime, let's not talk about this for now. She walked up to Uzumaki Naruto and rubbed his golden head gently. My child, I'm sorry to put you through this. Can you lift up your shirt? Naruto tilted his head. Suddenly, a stranger was so gentle to him, which made him look at Grandpa Hokage for advice at a loss. Of course, the third generation, who could guess what it meant, nodded. Naruto, do as Mito-sama said. Oh, Naruto pulled his orange sportswear up to his chest, exposing his belly. Is that what I said? Mito-ji smiled at Naruto, and then said with a look, Seal. Ah. Naruto felt a dull pain and fell asleep in the arms of the woman in front of him. Unaware of the situation, Gaara immediately made an attack stance. But he was stopped by Kakashi, who already knew the approximate identity of the red-haired woman in front of him. This power is Uzumaki Mito. Even you were resurrected? Damn it. Damn it. Go to sleep, Nine Tails. You just wait for me. One day, I will definitely want... Kakashi, Mito-sama, my other two students are also in urgent condition. Theoretically speaking, sealing and enchantment are the fields this adult is best at. If it were her, there should be a way to eliminate this enchantment. Handing Uzumaki Naruto to Yumino Irika, who came over on his own initiative, Mito-hime pressed her hand on the outer wall of the domain barrier. There is no chakra, nor any kind of sealing technique. After a while, Mito-hime also shook her head. Really? Kakashi lowered his head in disappointment. The ferret flying in the sky knows that if it exceeds 24 hours, the question will become a multiple-choice question, and the danger will be very small by then. As long as you know the question. But the girl with Sakura's hair inside seems like she can't hold on for so long. And the marks on Sasuke's face are Curse Seal. I immediately thought of Konoha's traitorous ninja, Aokimaru, who once served as the Korakin in the Akatsuki organization. Questioning whether Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu hadn't taught Orochimaru a lesson, Uchiha Itachi felt resentful and wanted to do it again. Midō looked at Sakura, who was injured and poisoned. Naturally, she would not miss the unfinished content on the ground question. After the country of Uzumaki, Uzushio Hidden Village was destroyed, he lived in the country of grass. Uzumaki Mito, who is Uzumaki Haimekoen, has sadness in her eyes. She looked towards the domain barrier. With Chakra's perception, she had already noticed the girl with the same hair color as herself. Tall but painfully thin. Then the girl's body was covered with dense teeth marks. How could Midō, who is Uzumaki-koen, not know what this means? How much suffering has she suffered? How much grievance have you suffered? Look at the forehead protector on the girl's forehead. The country of grass, hidden grass village. There is no need to specifically use perception. Midō's angry chakra can already materialize around her body, and her red hair bundled into a ball shape is scattered by her own chakra, like a blood-red waterfall. Rush down and dance loudly behind you. Well, although not as big as her elder brother Hashirama, Midō's chakra is still scary. Kakashi, Iruka, and Sand Shinobi, who saw it for the first time, as well as second Hokage and third Hokage who had experienced it before, were all shocked. Then the second Hokage and the third Hokage followed Midō's eyes and looked at the grass ninja girl in the field barrier, and they probably understood the reason in their hearts. When Midō appeared, he couldn't take his eyes away from the woman with the same red hair as himself. Even though the other party's huge amount of chakra seemed extremely alarming due to anger, she could feel an extremely warm feeling. She had not felt this kind of warmth for many years. Mom, she thought silently in her heart. Thinking of her mother's death, Xiang Ling choked up. Child, can you please come over and help me finish the question? Even though she was angry, Midō still said to her with the same tenderness as she did to Naruto. The situation of the girl Sakura found is a bit urgent, and we need to think of an answer quickly. Xiang Ling stood up tremblingly and walked step by step to the words written by Haruno Sakura. Because of the incident just now, Sasuke was more vigilant this time. While trying to suppress the erosion of the curse seal on his consciousness, he took out a kunai. If the other party behaved inappropriately, he could attack at any time. Xiang Ling looked straight at Uzumaki Midō outside the barrier. That chakra was really as warm and huge as a mother. She has a strong natural perception of chakra and can use herself to feel the chakra of the surrounding environment. So she knows that people outside are eager to help the pink-haired girl. It really made her envious. Very jealous, too. Ellis, when he was almost near the text, Haruno Sakura suddenly turned around and walked in the direction of Haruno Sakura, Sasuke, and others. Chapter 79, Konoha, Orphan Uzumaki Naruto Dang. Sasuke's kunai was inserted in front of Karen's feet. Xiang Ling was shocked. At this time, she was still a little naive and romantic, and she was forced to accept the bullying of the grass ninja. She didn't expect that Uchiha Sasuke, who had just helped her, would suddenly attack her. Xiang Ling quickly waved her hand to explain. Since she couldn't speak, she could only express her intentions through body language. Sasuke realized that he had misunderstood when he saw the other party showing a slender arm full of tooth marks in order to prove himself. After a moment of silence, Sasuke nodded before Haruno dared to continue approaching Haruno Sakura. At this time, Sakura was already a little weak. She sat down on the grass and gasped for air. The blood flowing from the wound on her calf was abnormally dark. Haruno Sakura handed a piece of her arm that looked slightly less tooth-marked to Haruno Sakura's mouth. Of course, little Sakura understands what she means, but Konoha's education makes it difficult for her to accept such a thing. Thinking that she was too dirty, Xiang Phosphorus lifted up her clothes. There would be fewer tooth marks on the girl's body, but some of Tianjing's skin could still be found. Her unintentional actions made Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, and the three siblings outside Uzumaki Mito, Senju Tobirama, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Hitaki Kakashi, Yumino Irika, San Shinobi, and Itachi hovering in the sky feel a little sad. Especially Uzumaki Mito. The strong Uzumaki Heimkuin's lips were trembling a little. In the end, Sakura chose to grab Xiang Lian's arm and took a bite gently. A large amount of chakra flowed into her body through her lips and teeth, quickly restoring her physical strength and vitality consumed by the poison, an indescribable feeling. Although little Sakura had tried her best to be careful, how could the force that had to leave tooth marks not be painful? Seeing the red-haired girl, closing her eyes, and enduring the pain, Xiaolu felt very guilty. After recovering her strength, little Sakura went over to complete the rest of the text question. After the Uzumaki village in the country of Uzumaki was destroyed, the orphan girl who lived in the country of grass and the hidden grass village was her surname. After little Sakura finished writing the question, she saw the subtle silence of the second Hokage and the third Hokage outside the domain barrier, as well as the slightly sad eyes of the red-haired beauty who seemed to have a high status. Among the remaining people, only Kakashi knew about the urban country. After all, his master's wife was the last descendant of the Uzumaki country. The atmosphere became a little weird for a while. Even little Sakura and Sasuke can feel it. Now that there are people from Konoha inside and outside, Xianglan, who is an outsider no matter what, tries to minimize his presence and secretly peeks at the red-haired woman who looks a bit like her mother in chakra. But Mitoheim obviously won't let everything go like this. She waved to Xiang Phosphorus. "Come here, child." Xiang Ling raised his head and looked left and right before confirming that the person Mito-ji called was him. Little Sakura and Sasuke were also stunned. They didn't know who this red-haired woman who even the second Hokage and the third Hokage respected was, and they didn't understand why she would greet a ninja from Kuzakura village after reading the question. Sasuke read the question again and thought, could this Kunoichi be one of the last descendants of Uzumaki who lived in Kuzagakure? Mito felt even more distressed when he saw Xiang Ling's cowardly look. He knelt down and asked her, "Can you tell me your name?" Xiang Phosphorus thought for a while, picked up a branch, and wrote his name Fragrant Phosphorus. "It's a very nice name. Who gave it to you?" "Mother." "Is your mother also in Kuzakura village now? If so, Mitoheim will immediately set off a mission to bring her to Konoha." "Died." All present expressed their condolences in silence. Mito-ji sighed her heart. "Then do you know your last name?" This question made Xiang Lu look blank. Her name is Xiang Phosphorus, her surname. It seems that her mother has never mentioned it to her. Uzumaki Mito knew from the look on her face that she probably didn't know. "So you don't know which clan you are from, right?" Mito smiled and continued without waiting for Koro to write. "You can feel it. To my chakra?" "To the chakra of the same kind." Xiang Lu was shocked by the news. She froze there, staring blankly at the red-haired beauty outside the transparent wall. Xiang Ling opened her mouth, and her mouth shape could be seen, but if she didn't make a sound, she would not be judged to have answered the question. "Well, I don't have any objection if you want to call me Mom, but..." Mito smiled awkwardly. "I guess my granddaughter can be your grandma, Tsunade Heim, the grandson of the first generation who was working in a casino far away, sneezed. Who is talking about me? Could it be that some company got wind of it and came to collect debts?" Second Hokage, Senju Tobirama, who was just called Little Brother by a certain idiot, Little Sakura, Sasuke, Irika, and others. Obviously looking at such a young beauty. Is he actually older than the third Hokage? Ah, forget it. There's a second Hokage over there whom Naruto calls Little Brother. Senju Tobirama. Xiang Ling looked at Mito-ji outside the barrier and made sure that the other party was not making fun of him. But then, people who didn't recognize the red-haired beauty in front of them were once again subjected to a heavy attack. "Can you please answer the question and end this question?" Mitoheim smiled and continued when everyone was stunned. "About my clan? There are many bloodline abilities and ninjutsu in the Uzumaki country and Yuzushiyo hidden village, and I will give them to you in the future. You? Oh. Speaking of which, the leader of my clan's abilities can even seal-tailed beasts. Uzumaki Mito suddenly became playful, so you don't have to worry about being bullied anymore. You again? Who else but her? What more people are paying attention to is sealing the tailed beast alone. Which ninja clan is so cruel? How could they be exterminated? Of course, most of them don't know that because they are too strong, other groups are afraid of the Uzumaki family's sealing techniques and other abilities. In the end, the 2.7 forces of many countries and ethnic groups were gathered to launch an invasion of the Kingdom of Whirlpool. After the Kingdom of Uzumaki was destroyed, the surviving members of Yuzushiyo Hidden Village became anonymous and dispersed around the world. Like the mother of Xiang Phosphorus is one of them. Xianglan, if your mother didn't tell you your last name, let me tell you. Uzumaki Mito was about to give the answer. Including Xianglan, even little Sakura and Sasuke were a little nervous for some reason. Mitoheim, your name is Uzumaki Karen. Your full name should be Uzumaki Karen. Sakura and Sasuke were stunned. There is only one Uzumaki they know, and that is the orphan from Konoha Shinobi Village, Uzumaki Naruto, their companion in Class 7. Chapter 80 Teach Naruto the Flying Thunder God Technique. It was the first time Xiang Lian heard his last name. Her beautiful eyes stared blankly at the beautiful woman with the same hair color as herself in front of her. Repeated his name, Uzumaki. My name is Uzumaki. Mitoheim. Well, it's the surname of Uzumaki country, Uzumaki Hidden Village, and the family crest. She looked at Kakashi, who was wearing a Genin vest. Konoha Shinobi. The logo on the back of Genin's vest is our Uzumaki, the emblem of a clan. Kakashi understood Mito, geez, meaning, and immediately turned around to let Xiang Ling and others see the red swirl-shaped logo on the back of Genin's vest. Little Sakura, Sasuke, Gaara, Uzumaki clan. They all looked at the blonde boy sleeping on Irika's back. Could it be that this woman is... Sasuke thought to himself, could she be the one her mother said in the video Kushina? A beautiful misunderstanding. The mechanical texture of the human voice gave the final judgment at this time. Correct answer. If it were said that Xiang Phosphorus was a little unbelievable just now. Now I completely believe it. Her real surname is Uzumaki. Her name is Uzumaki Kaso, and she is a descendant of Uzumaki Hidden Village in the country of Uzumaki. Congratulations on getting Reward 1. Sacrifice-free sealing technique. Sealing the ghouls use permission once. A string of white rosary beads appeared in front of Xiang 08 Phosphate's eyes, and then penetrated into her eyebrows in the blink of an eye, as if nothing had happened. Uzumaki Mito, who knew what level of ninjutsu the ghoul seal was also quite shocked. There is actually a way to turn the sealing technique into a disposable consumable similar to a ninja tool. Just when they thought the first reward had been completed, everyone heard a mechanical voice again. Due to the one-time correct answer, Reward 1 was upgraded to an encrypted version of Reward 1. You get the encrypted version of Reward 1. Sacrifice-free sealing technique. Sealing the ghoulies resolution. Use permission once. The white rosary beads that had entered her eyebrows came out again. It turned into a strange prajna mask and then returned to the center of her eyebrows. Next, bang, 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 bang. Following 10 muffled sounds, one wooden coffin after another rose up from the ground for no apparent reason. Those who have experienced Konoha Shinobi once still cannot escape their surprise. Senju Tobarama. Although the form is very similar, it is not the forbidden technique Impure World Reincarnation developed by me. Rather than Impure World Reincarnation, it is better to say that during the Fourth Ninja War, the ninjutsu used by the manipulated Uchiha Obito to resurrect Madara, Rinnet Tensei technique. In the domain barrier, 10 coffins were opened one by one. 10 red-haired ninjas stood in the coffin. There are men and women, old and young, but without exception, they all have red hair. This makes people who are familiar with Naruto have questions. If Naruto is really a member of the Uzumaki clan, Why is he the only one with golden hair? Could it be that Naruto just happened to be given the surname Uzumaki and is not actually a member of the Uzumaki clan? Speaking of these 10 coffins, not one of them was someone Uzumaki knew. After all, if she had to say it, she only knew her mother about the Uzumaki clan. But unfortunately, her mother is not in this ranks. Xiang Lian looked at Uzumaki Mito and asked who should be resurrected in his slightly local accent. Mito left the choice to Xiang Lian and let her make her own judgment. I don't know how to choose fragrant phosphorus, and little Sakura's poison has not been cured yet, so she has no time to make more choices. Is it okay if I choose her? Xiang Phosphorus chose a young red-haired woman. Confirmation of resurrection, Fuso. The bright green chakra surrounds the wooden coffin, and the vitality of the chakra prompts the dead wood to grow branches again. The woman in the coffin opened her eyes, but after seeing all the Konoha forehead protectors, he was so frightened that he fell down and sat in the coffin. Konoha's ninja. At this time, the field barrier had been opened. Kankuro went over to help Haruno Sakura prepare the antidote, while the others moved closer to the Uzumaki woman. Uzumaki Mito. You seem to be afraid of the ninjas of Konoha? Don't be afraid. I am for the Uzumaki clan, just like you. There's slightly more new appointments for women of the same clan. After pursing her lips, the woman named Fuso said, "Can you let me go?" She knew clearly that she was dead and died together with her husband at home in the country of rain. I wonder if their children ever escaped the murderous hands of those Konoha shinobi. We didn't mean to hurt you, Uzumaki Mito said. It's better to say that the child resurrected you from the dead. She pointed to the fragrant phosphorus next to her and pulled her to her side. Right? Phosphorus. Xiangling nodded and looked at the red hair that was the same as her mother's. Fuso looked at the girl who was older than her son. She was thin and a little shy. These features reminded her of her son. She looked at Uzumaki Heimkun. Excuse me, where is this place? Without continuous rain, this would definitely not be a land of rain. The land of fire Konohagakure. Mito Heim said, "This is one of Konoha's training grounds. If you don't mind, let's find a place to chat. It will get dark soon." Irika asked second generation and third Hokage for instructions. Hokage-sama, Naruto, and the others have not completed their Chunin exams yet. Should I take them back to the central tower first? Second generation. Let's go back together. He pointed at Uchiha Sasuke and looked at Mito Heim. That Uchiha boy was cursed by Orochimaru. I had temporarily sealed it, but now it seems that it has become loose again. Let's give it to him now. Make a perfect one. Speaking of which, a crow landed next to Mito Heim in the sky. Second generation glanced at the crow suspiciously. Weasel Crow. Pretend that everything is normal. The group of people returned to the central tower, and Naruto also woke up slowly on the way. None of them had dinner, because due to emergencies, the food found was not enough for everyone. Kakashi and others. We all carry soldiers' grain pills with us. It doesn't affect us, but... He looked at the crow next to Mito-ji intentionally or unintentionally and asked, "What do crows eat? Soldier grain pills or insects?" Ferret. Naruto, who had just woken up, felt extremely hungry. I really want to eat ramen. That's right. He suddenly rushed to Senju 513 Tobarama. Second generation target brother. Can you use your whoosh dash, flying thunder god technique? Senju Tobarama couldn't bear it and helped him fill in the name of his ninjutsu. Can you just use your flying thunder god technique to buy ramen for us? We should be able to come back soon. Naruto, you big idiot. Irika apologized to second Hokage by pressing Naruto's head. Naruto was dissatisfied. The guy from second generation said he owed me a favor. I still remember it. Senju Tobarama's forehead was full of black lines. You mean that favor? You want me to repay it with a bowl of ramen? Naruto thought about it seriously and gave an affirmative answer. Otherwise, a few more bowls will be fine. You're such a fool. Second Hokage sighed. I've already figured out how to repay you this favor. Senju Tobarama, I have developed many forbidden ninjutsu in my life. In addition to Shadow Clone, the flying thunder god you have seen is also one of them, and it is said that the fourth Hokage was used in the third ninja war. He became famous in several battles, thanks to a more complete version of Flying Thunder God. After talking for a long time, Tobirama stopped and looked at Uzumaki Naruto. When the other party had a look on his face that said, "What are you going to say?" he said the second half. "I'm going to hand over the Flying Thunder God technique to you." Chapter 81. Image begins. Sacrifice Uzumaki, eh? Really? Naruto jumped up. He was particularly happy to hear this for two reasons. First, he has seen the speed of the Flying Thunder God Jutsu. If he could learn this ninjutsu, wouldn't he be able to defeat WD Sasuke? Secondly, when he was in the ninja school, the thing that Naruto envied the most. Even the classmates have family members who teach them things they haven't learned in ninja school, such as shuriken techniques and even a three-body technique. And he has nothing. That's great. Naruto couldn't wait to start learning now. Looking at his excitement, Uzumaki Mito's psychology was a bit mixed. I am happy that this child is as cute and lively as Kushina. Chakra is full of sunshine like Mito G was suddenly stunned. Why did she feel the same chakra she had felt in Hashirama's body in this child's body? It's like sunlight scattering in the forest and the smell of breeze blowing. Realizing that the red-haired elder sister over there had been looking at him, Naruto narrowed his eyes and asked, "Who is it?" "This elder sister with beautiful hair." There was also a red-haired woman beside her who didn't look like a ninja and a red-haired grass ninja. Girls, their hair is pretty. Several ninjas who knew Mito's identity sighed inwardly. They had given up on letting Naruto call people by seniority. Although Sasuke and little Sakura didn't show much, their ears were actually perked up quietly. They have long been curious about who this woman is who respects both the second generation and the third generation. Before, they only knew a name and knew that she was a ninja from the country of Whirlpool, but they always felt that with only this identity, the two Hokage, is that so, sir? Also, does Kakashi-sensei seem to know the other party's identity? The third Hokage sighed and introduced Uzumaki Mito. Naruto, you should respect this master more. She is the princess of the Uzumaki hidden village in the country of Uzumaki, and she is also the wife of the first Hokage, Uzumaki Mito-sama. Sakura-chan, Shodai's wife? Sasuke, Uzumaki is the clan of first Hokage's wife. Naruto was stunned. Grandpa Hokage, what did you say? He seemed to hear that this woman's last name was Uzumaki. My surname is Uzumaki, and I'm from your clan, little Naruto. Mito touched Naruto's head and showed a hearty smile. And the two people here are also from the Uzumaki clan. Naruto's big blue eyes were shining with stars. He was so shocked. Today couldn't be his birthday, so why did so many good things come together? But she's obviously a grass ninja. Naruto pointed at Karen. And why do you all have red hair and look nothing like me? Although he was very happy, he still had to ask clearly to avoid wasting his joy. Kakashi grabbed the conversation and explained, "Well, Naruto, your surname is definitely Uzumaki. As for the color of your hair and eyes, maybe you took after your father?" Kakashi smiled, but he was too sad to tell Naruto and Sasuke the truth. Naruto is only one step away from resurrecting his father. But for Sasuke, I missed this opportunity. Even if there is a 1 in 10,000 possibility. Kakashi does not want this matter to become an irreparable scar between the two children if it is made public. Just like him and Obito, they miss so much. Naruto was stunned for a moment, curled his lips deliberately, and then remembered what Sasuke said before about him being alone since he was a child. How do I know who I am following? Anyway, I have been alone since I was a child. It was clear that Naruto was still angry because of what he said before Sasuke. Otherwise, why not find a chance to take the initiative to talk to the guy behind the wheel? Naruto stared at Karen. Karen knew that this boy's surname was Uzumaki and his name was Uzumaki Naruto, but he didn't know until now that he was of the same race as him. With a sense of belonging that he might find a family in his heart, Uzumaki quickly greeted Naruto. "Hello, my name is Uzumaki Uzumaki." Naruto was actually very happy. He had never heard of anyone named Uzumaki in Konoha. "Wait, grass ninja? Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked in amused panic. Is it possible that I am actually a grass ninja? Everyone, IQ is very low. If the reward for that scary quiz is merit, then you have to give it to Naruto no matter what. Kakashi ravaged Naruto's head. Idiot, you are from Konoha. There is no doubt, teacher. I can guarantee it. Baiton Kakashi was responsible for taking care of the pregnant Kushina. Hey, Naruto greeted Karen. Your hair is so beautiful. If only I had red hair too, I would definitely be even more handsome than I am now. It's a bit cute.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.